good night, everybody. Welcome to the Real Talk Show. All I don't know what time it is. It's the Beat Up Kyle Show. Because today we talk about what women hate that men just do. And it's going to be a little spicy because we are two women on this show. Well, look on my right hand side. I don't know what we call it tonight, but we have only kind of right in the house here.
Good night, guys.
Looking in red,
God bless you.
Yeah, the blood of Jesus.
God bless you. Good night. Looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, and then we have, I guess you all saw already. You was on two shows already.
Yeah,
Any other in the house? Any other
Good night,
stage?
everybody. Good night. Good night.
Keeping up with the stages. So tonight we keeping up with her. And then we have Ava Dell, who we just played our prank on. How you doing, Ava?
Hi everyone, good night Facebook, good night YouTube, welcome back guys. Oh my gosh, I was a bit flustered because these lovely human beings were just being extra lovely tonight.
Don't blame them, blame me.
I wouldn't no, I'm blaming everybody because everybody knew
No.
and nobody said anything. Alright, so good night Facebook, good night YouTube, welcome back. I'm really happy to be here with you all. And of course, I am here with giveaways. Ladies, I want to hear from you all tonight, all right? Because, I mean, we had a serious discussion here tonight before the show actually started. But we want to hear from you all. Begin to share like crazy. Me would now starting, guys. So all you ladies, go and call your girlfriends. All your girlfriends. And let them come on to the stream right now. Even for the fellas, so that they could learn a thing or two tonight, all right? Because we all, I'm sure we could all agree that the men today have a thing or two to learn, yeah? Alright, so I am here with giveaways. So once you share, once you comment, I am here to give you a giveaway. It's that easy. All you have to do is comment and you can win an awesome prize, alright? So firstly, we have a selfie ring light here, sponsored by Carl's Construction, alright guys? So you can give Carl's Construction a call. His number is 385-2775 for any of your heavy equipment needs, whether it be jackhammer, backhoe, anything like that. They also have a special promotion right now. Let me get the information correct. So it's topsoil, $250 per yard, and it's free delivery if you purchase in a load. All right, so that's topsoil. They also into demolition. If you need sand, gravel, anything like that, just give them a call. All right, that number again is 385-2775. Right. And we have, of course, sponsored by Megamark Computer Services. I just have to do a little maneuver here. We have a computer multimedia headphone, guys, sponsored by Megamark Computer Service as always, making computer servicing affordable. All right, so you can check him out on Instagram, you can check him out on Facebook, and you can even go onto his website as well. All right, and you can give him a call as well. It's 733-6157 or 330-8791. A little later on in the show you can get a little more details on what Megamark Computer Services does. All right, but you can definitely give him a call. One of the highlights about his company is he does house calls, all right? So he will go to a school, he will come to your home, he will come to your workplace, whatever the case is, all right? And finally, I have a voucher here, a Starbucks voucher. So all you have to do, guys, is comment to win one of these awesome giveaways, all right? We're going to go to Kyle now, and tonight we're talking about things that men do that women hate. I find hate is a strong word there, but probably really hate it, yeah? Yeah, this life.
All I hate it.
Okay, we hate it. Let's be real. We're being real, right? This is real talk, all right? So we're going to go to Kyle. Let me see your comments. I mean, a lot of ladies commented in the last show saying that they're waiting for this show to come out for the men. So y'all don't be shy. Let me see your comments. And one of you might just be the winner of one of our awesome giveaways tonight, all right? Kyle, take it away.
Hey, awesome stuff, Tonight we're talking about they're going to be juicy. So women, tag your boyfriend or your husband and bring them on the show because we're going to have fun. That is all we can have here is fun. But Unica,
Fun. I came for some serious business.
Yeah, that would they come for serious business. Last week was somehow, even though it was about the men, that's what we don't like it. We get bashed all how.
You find so?
Yeah.
I don't find so.
Yeah.
I think they made a mockery of women.
Yeah,
How they're
they
nag,
really find so.
they're clingy,
But
You did a good job
you
of
remember what's the
defending,
5
yeah.
things that men don't like?
nagging,
Okay.
clinginess, controlling. What else?
Nagging was like the main
Yeah.
theme.
Okay.
Clingy, controlling. I can't remember the other two,
Oh, okay. So fellas, if we don't
Dishonor,
remember a couple too.
Dishonor.
Yes,
Dishonor.
dishonor.
I can't remember the other.
Yeah, if you don't remember all fellas, don't worry
Withholding
yourself.
sex, I think was the bonus
Yes,
one Kyle said.
yeah, that was
That was
a
a
bonus
bonus.
one.
That was a bonus.
That was a bonus one,
That was a
yeah?
bonus one, yeah.
Sorry, I can't remember.
Hey, so in the comment section, maybe you all can let us know where somebody thinks that maybe you all dislike, because obviously we're gonna be talking about every single thing. We just pick maybe the top 5.
Yeah.
So maybe in the comment section, you all throw it out there. Well, maybe you all find out in your past release anything you maybe you could say that you just do like generally that men do, right? So the number 1, Onika. Now we will go the opposite way. 5 go up to reach the number 1.
Oh,
You think
so from 5.
yeah, we're going back up, right? So you remember what was number 5? And the other had a way she was phrasing it. So number 5, we're not starting the show
starting with
one
the hard
time.
one, oh,
We're starting
yeah,
off
man.
one time with you, you know?
Why are we
One
starting
time
with that
hard. Yeah,
one?
find out one is little,
No, we can start
Go
with
ahead,
that.
man.
We can start
There's
with
something about the kettle and do well.
Microwave and kettle.
Something about some microwave and kettle. You see how the show don't start complicated, all yeah? But go ahead.
We didn't really know how to phrase it, but it's about intimacy. We were talking about
With specifically sexual intimacy, I guess.
specifically, well, for married people, Christian,
Yes.
you know, Christian show, married people. What we said? Men are microwaves. This is something we saw in a video. They say they're liking men to microwaves and women to crock pots. And we were saying that not all intimacy has to equate to sex. That's what we
Okay.
said, right?
Right.
So what exactly all the hate that men does do?
Well,
Because that is really the not the crock pot and then the
Let me
kettle, right?
just
So I want to know,
put out
educate me first, and we go pass along the message to all the fellas. So
put
let me
out
hear.
a disclaimer that I'm speaking generally here.
Okay,
yeah?
okay.
So I think
Because this is top 5, right? So
a man in here laughing and thing, but how we first of all we got these answers not from just like 1 or 2 people. I asked. We have a women's group, and I asked. We got some answers. Actually, had a session this week, and we got some answers from there. So
and from
this
the
is-
post online as well,
from the
from
post,
before, because
right.
this was one of the things with the
yes,
woman.
so this is general. This is, I guess, and it's different for everybody, but most people, right? So I think what Inyala meant is that men, if they feel to have sex, and this is an adult show, it could be an instant thing like, honey, I'm in the mood, let's go, right?
Okay.
But for a woman might need to be, wooed a little
Yeah.
bit,
Your mind needs to be in that
yes.
place.
So a woman,
Mood a little bit?
all right. So let
Okay.
me how to phrase it. So a woman may need to be in the mood, or you might have to get her in the mood.
Right.
Whereas a man like this seem to think the man always ready.
Yeah, even if
But-
they're vexed.
Right.
They can get in the mood.
Yeah. It could be vexed, right? It could be vexed, just vexed. But for a woman, her mindset have to be in a particular. She has to be in a particular frame of mind. It
Right.
can't just be.
Okay,
It can't just be like we just argue, think.
If I learn in here, me know what I'm talking
Right.
about. Go ahead.
So yeah, so it's basically what the consensus was is that women need, it's not as instant for women.
Right.
Which
Is
is
that
why,
true online? You all tell us. But go
which
ahead.
is why the term women are microwave. Women are
Yeah, women is
hot pots
microwave. Go ahead.
and men are microwave, right? So it's just that some men may be a little, insensitive in that area. Yeah, let we go and think in the woman. It's different. And I think that goes for a lot of women.
Yeah.
Not all the time to her.
Of course,
Might
yeah.
have a situation, but just generally, you come home, you're tired, and say, baby, let we go and lie down. You might be able to handle it. You might be
Yeah.
able to do it even though you're tired, but you had a woman a
Yeah,
little bit.
agreed,
You gotta get
agreed.
me in the mood, 'cause I'm really tired and
Yeah.
I want to go and just rest. You know?
Okay.
So, yeah.
What is your what he meant to do, basically, or that all they do like? To woo all you.
Well, to put in some effort.
We,
Put in some effort.
well, you gotta pay to the men perspective, right? We effort done on the mark, so what's it, I mean? I just
Yes.
saying, men done any effort doing
ladies,
so.
married ladies, we don't know this opinion from nobody who's not married. Keep your opinion to yourself, right?
Okay.
This is for the married couples. You
Okay.
say if
You know, they
if
could,
you-
anyhow, but go ahead.
say if this has been your experience, if it, but yeah, that seemed to have been a common one for the ladies.
Yeah,
So
that was
that's
common,
number
yeah.
5.
Okay. So, men, I don't know how to help all you, but apparently this thing you to get woo. So if you turn on a little Luther Vandross or something, can you woo or something? Apparently that will set the mood and all it good to go. So we'll see. Right? If you just turn on that song, all it good to go, right? So where's the number 4? The number 4 we said, because I think that sign, sealed and delivered. I don't know how to train something they for you, but number 4 is saying being compared to someone else. Example, like like being compared to a mother.
Mother,
Well,
or-
it could be your mother-in-law. So
Right,
it could be his
right.
mother.
Right.
Yeah, like cooking and
Right.
different things like that.
So a lady,
explain all yourself.
again, you can be married or courting,
Yeah.
and where the man always comparing things that well, my mothers do it so, my
Yeah.
mothers do it so, my sisters do it so, my, you know what I mean?
That could be
And
annoying.
That could be, I know,
That could be
like with the
annoying.
cooking, it takes a little bit of adjusting to go from mommy cooking
Mm-hmm.
to wifey cooking. It's a little adjusting, and I understand that actually, because if you get taste, you're accustomed to your mom type of cooking, and your
Yeah.
wife, her
Yeah,
cooking is
it's different.
completely different.
Yeah.
It could be a little, but to be comparing and bringing it up, and
Yeah.
not only comparing, but we also spoke about where the man might be a bit of a mama's boy,
gosh.
Okay,
where he
okay.
always want to go and check the mommy and the sisters.
But
and
actually, sometimes it's the mother that treats their son like their
like
husband.
the right, yes.
Everywhere they go in, they have to drop him a hair, pick him up hair.
Yes.
You need to I mean, obviously
Yes.
you'll help him out, your parents, but
Of course.
there's some sort of
Of
boundary
course.
that needs to be in place.
So the Bible says that the man ought to leave,
yeah, and clean.
and and it's ironic, right? The Bible didn't say the man
Oh,
should
this is my
leave.
eyes, right?
That the man should leave his mother and go live with his wife. It actually says cleave unto
Yes,
his wife,
cleave
which
unto his
means
wife.
well, the two supposed to become one, right? So
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
now flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. Of course, we're not saying you can't help your mother,
Of
guys.
course.
But there must be a line.
Yeah.
And some mothers could take advantage of their sons, love towards them and be a little insensitive. So the man has to know if mommy overstepping.
And at times it even goes into how they raise their children. Like the husband's mother, she wants to have opinions, so the
Correct.
wife doesn't,
Yes.
she wants to be in
Alright.
control of
Yes.
So what is all we to do? What's the solution? Or let tell me what we do like.
Man
Let me
up.
hear what we to do.
Man up and
Cleave unto your wife.
yeah.
Cleave
You
on
know?
to your wife.
Cleave unto your wife.
So don't
And-
check your mother. Don't
No,
check
no,
all.
no,
Don't check
that's
all
not
your
what we're
mother.
saying. That's not what
Well,
we're
I
saying.
don't even have to defend myself because you all heard me say, of course, your mother need you
Of
and
course,
need help.
needs-
Okay,
Not
okay,
abandon
okay,
your
okay.
mother.
Well, I guess if your wife expresses a concern that probably the
So how
mother.
you just draw that line though? If it is here, you drop any mommy because she can't do nothing. She old and
No,
she may be a
okay.
little
Not
silly.
all the time
talking
she
ab-
old. Not
we're
all
not
the time
talking
she
about
old.
that scenario. There are some mothers that do take advantage
Yeah.
of their relationship with their sons. It's a common thing.
It's
There
a
are
common
movies
thing.
about it. It have Pepper called mother-in-law. There are reasons for all of that, right? Because the mothers, sometimes the reality is they don't want to let go of their sons totally.
It's,
right?
it's like an unhealthy.
Yes.
So
yeah.
what message do you have for that son who does not want to let go of his mother?
Cleave unto your wife and put your mama
So
in
how
her
we gonna
place.
do that?
Put mama in her place.
Yeah,
when
talk,
she
have a
needs to be.
conversation. Have a conversation.
Not in a, I'm not saying be rude to her or dishonor her, but if you realize, and I think for some people too, they might even the husband knows that his mother been out of time,
Yeah, but he's just afraid to.
yeah, but I guess you're kind of between a rock and a hard place where they might see it as having to choose between mommy
Yes.
and wife, right? But if it really ever does come down to
You
a
had to choose
choice,
your wife.
it's your wife, guys.
Yeah.
So and back to the big one, it was really about also comparing. So
yeah.
so when it is he accustomed to eating his food from mommy, and he make a statement, my mommy never used to make it so. He shouldn't say that.
Well, that could be
No,
insensitive.
nothing wrong with saying that in a different way. Say,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
Girl,
So
shit, my
what is
Kerwin
the
did that
correct
all the
way?
time. No, Kerwin did that all the time. Girl, when mommy, okay, Kerwin mom, she used to cook melanjan and chicken,
Right.
which I actually never liked. But how she used
Melanjan
to
and
cook
chicken,
it, yeah.
Like
Curry,
stew it? Oh.
sorry, curry melanjan
Oh,
and
okay,
chicken,
okay.
Yeah.
right?
Making a little sense.
I never liked it, but when I tasted from her, I really enjoyed it.
Right.
So I asked her how she make it. Because Kerwin really liked it too.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think-
yeah.
You know what I mean? And he would always talk about it. Up to today, he said, if my mother cook a callaloo, if my mother cook, nothing,
Yeah.
I say that about my mother too.
Right.
But though, let's say, you could be insensitive if you're eating your food and say, oh gosh, girl, this food is, why you calling to cook like my mother, girl?
Yeah,
That rough.
Yeah, that could be a
That
little
rough.
stressful. I actually know of a couple, they all now. But the guy said that when he got married, he used to go home, like afterward, he'll go by his parents to eat. So when he come home, he'll be full.
Yes.
He won't
I
have to
got
eat his
two
wife's food.
stories like that recently.
Okay,
of
okay.
A man who used to go by his family on his way home, eat, full his belly,
So he went after.
and when he reached home, not that so that, but he would be full. And when his wife, she cook and waiting for him to come and say, hey, I cook no, I'm full, I eat by
Ate by sister.
my mother
so-
or eat by my sister. And she said that used to send her mad.
That was
because
the time you want to.
she put in effort waiting for him to come, and he not even touching the food. 'Cause
So he don't carry to work the next day?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. So she's do the food.
And
then.
I actually know of
But she have, they have more people
another
in the
couple.
family. It's not both of them
I
alone.
know of
Oh, so it's
somebody
other
else.
people in the family.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know
okay,
of somebody
okay.
else. They used to take the food and carry it to work to give it to the security guard. And eventually, when the wife went, she say the security guard commented about your lasagna, so and that's how she found out.
Wow. So what?
That's rough.
So is it that the man? I just asking her, right? Is it that the man tried to communicate that maybe he should learn to cook a little better, and he just don't know how to,
Probably that's the reason.
and things break down, and you can't really have a conversation? Because for a man to go to, I'll be honest, for somebody to go to the extreme of carrying food to work and giving it away to somebody because they don't want their wife cooking,
That's an extreme situation.
it's a lack of communication somewhere.
Kyle, but there is you cannot doubt that there's a common thing where men would compare their wives to their
That's a
mother.
common,
Time
yeah.
to let go your mother.
Yeah.
So
This is what you're dealing with now. Eat the food. It isn't good or not. Eat it.
Eat it.
What? There's your portion.
Yeah, there's a
You
portion.
choose me. Eat my food.
Exactly.
You
So, alright,
choose
so
me.
if it is we don't care compared to the mother, then could we compare it to KFC if you're making chicken? And we say, well, I don't know how KFC is making.
Well, in a
It's
case like
7
that-
herbs and spices. Could it be that, you know?
That Mark man in the studio. In the yeah.
Yes, he's here.
Whoa.
In a case like that, I would just not cook and just.
Why though?
What?
In a case like that, if you're always comparing it to KFC or comparing it to somebody else, just stop cooking. and-
Listen, it could be. I know. I have been graded by my 7-year-old child. She's now 15.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? Right? Where you eat your food and she waiting. And as she put it first, she will take 2-3 bites and give you a grade. Mommy, there's a C today.
Wow.
Right? Yeah? No, I don't take her on. I say C, B, A, whatever you eating that. That is your portion, right? So I can, with my child, you know, but when your husband come and tell
So
you,
if your husband put up a chat and he says, see. What's wrong with that?
outside timing,
Yeah.
outside timing.
I guess somebody will feel bad because you want your husband to affirm you. And
Yes.
so if you cook and you
Yes.
slave, you went and you buy ingredients, you probably buy a recipe book, look on YouTube,
But-
and still.
Don't get me wrong, Kyle. I am not saying that if the food is not tasting good that you shouldn't say.
Yeah.
I know what because
I'm
I
not
want to know
saying
where we
that.
had to go.
As
you
I
know?
told you, Kerwin, but he's make fun of my food in the beginning openly.
I'm
Make
here,
fun.
you talk about the pillow
Right,
or
when
something.
he plead the blood on the pillow
Yeah,
and thing,
yeah.
right? But so, and he would say, he would say, be playing this not really taste. This not what it's supposed to taste, you know, right?
Right.
And so you improve, but there's a difference though in how you say it,
Yeah.
and if it's a constant
Comparison. Yeah.
Okay.
So don't tell me it's not tasting good, but don't tell me why you can't cook like my mother. Go by my mother to learn to cook. You know,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
degrading way.
Yeah, it can make it
And if
feel
it
a
comes
little.
across as as making if the woman is feeling belittled and
Yeah.
embarrassed and not appreciated, then that's a bad thing, and that's what happens. That's
So-
why it's number
4.
So they don't like to be graded or graded. So if it is, you have a
You
problem.
want to be graded?
Well, I just say they don't want to see, you don't want to know, to learn, or, you know. I just saying something here, right? But anyhow, that was number 4. We want to go to the comment section and hear what all is saying online because we want to come back to the other stuff because you all know we get more and more spicy as we're going up, right? Because you all realize comparing, I guess it's something real to some people out there that, you know,
course.
that there's things that they go
People
through.
get
and-
divorced, but you know how much people get divorced because of their in-laws, their mother-in-law
Yes,
specifically.
yeah.
Divorced. You have remember, we counsel people. That is a big issue in marriages, where the in-laws interfering in the marriage and causing trouble.
So they get married the
Sisters too.
first day when they don't meet or something? Huh? So before they get married, they don't see that that's how the man just move or something?
I guess they see it and they just feel.
Yeah, and you're thinking, you're not thinking, nah, you're thinking this woman ain't gonna be so. She would have respect, you know,
Yeah,
we married
yeah.
now, you're thinking she would change.
No.
That's what people think. They
Yeah.
think their spouse gonna change too.
Yeah, that's true.
I know, but they're saying that, so they were, you know. Anyhow, yes. Let me go to Ava and let me hear it is going on online. The Ava.
All right, so before I get into the comments and before I begin to say good night, ladies, you all are very vocal. I read these comments all the time and I find you all not saying much, right? That's not right. Because all you was asking for this, right? All right, so let me start by saying good night to Kershel, Patrice, Candy Gordon, Sabrina. Good night to you, Crystal Gore. Good night to you. My phone is hearing me speaking and thinking I'm speaking to it. Sabrina Sherry Ali Singh. Good night to you. Sabrina says, hi, I remember when she was talking about her headphones that she won. guys, if you win, as she said that, if you win something, please come into the studio to collect it at least within the month of winning it, because if you don't, then you lose it. Sorry. All right, Valina says good night. I have been eagerly waiting for this session. Angelia Dell, she said that's true. I'm not sure what she's saying that's true, but that was early in the show, so it had to have been the very first thing that that you all were talking about. Kenyan Will, this is a guy. A guy said it's true as well, so that means it's really true. If a man agreeing to it, then
And say true.
But when you saying it
It's
true
true.
too, though, you just saying it true.
this had to have been the first thing because it's the earlier comment. So
Okay,
it could
okay,
have been
okay.
the where you all were talking about intimacy.
Yeah.
Patrice Plaza Alexander. Yes, true. She says foreplay also important. Valina Pinnock. Valina says I'm not married, but I agree. Keelan Stewart say it's start. I don't know what start. Keelan, what start? Tell us what start. Anthony McLeod. He says facts. Women are generally emotions first, mind, body after. I guess both sexes can be annoyed when one feels like he's rushing and the other thinks she's going too slow. Lord. Good night to Alicia. Kenyan Will says I adjusted to my wife's cooking and everything instantly. Her food, etc., is the best. As far as I'm concerned, leave and cleave. And I actually think he said that before you all quoted the scripture. Crystal Gore says help cook. Crystal Gore get into things before we reach it.
There's one, there's one she just say here.
Yeah.
She remember we say something
Candy
people don't like.
Gordon. Okay, what I dislike is when you ask the guy to do something, they procrastinate so long that you have to ask them 5 times. And then we nagging and Candy. Alicia, yes, that's true. Most moms don't want to let go of their sons. Sabrina says, I'm thankful I had a wonderful mother-in-law for 18 years of my married life. She's passed on now and her cooking was untouchable. She's the best cook. And I think that's the other thing to it. Sometimes it depends on the person and you kind of have to gauge and you have to know the woman that you marry. So you kind of know how to respond to certain things, how to comment on certain things, how to criticize certain things, you know. Let me see. Candy says, other thing I don't like is the comparing too. Not just comparing the wife with the mom, but also comparing the wife with his other friend's wife. How we know his other friend wife so good to compare you to the... Well, what I'm thinking is how he know his friend's wife so well.
Well, I think he can mean like, like how maybe she is gay on.
Yeah.
Like she does more fun, she does more this, she does
I guess
more.
my friends share something about their wife.
No, just naturally if everybody
crazy.
liming and thing, and,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
you're probably like, but that's thing to get put out for.
Yeah. Compare me to your friend wife.
In the doghouse.
Alicia Roman. That's just so wrong.
Well, here
Let
we're
me see
going
what
on in
else
the
we
doghouse
have
and,
here. Anthony McLeod. I have plenty thoughts on the mama's boy. Well, Anthony, let's hear your thoughts now. That's what we're here for. Katie have a list here. I have to click see more to see Katie.
Let me hear this. Let
Katie
me hear
says
she
some
list.
things that men do that women hate are 1, using the scriptures regarding submission as a form of control.
And
Unappreciativeness. Lacking leadership as head of the
that's
household.
insensitive.
Failure to
Falls
take
under.
responsibility, difficulty, compromising, communication or lack thereof. Involving in-laws and marital problems. Katie lists some serious things here. Okay, alright, that's fine, Sherry. You can still come in to receive a giveaway, right? What you can do is just inbox us, alright? So we can make some arrangements. Alright, I think that was it so far for the giveaways. Ladies, let me remind you all, actually even for the fellas too, let me not say ladies alone. Fellas, let me remind you all, comment. All you have to do to win one of our giveaways is comment, alright? And we also want to hear from you. That's what I'm here for, right? To relate your comments to the panel and for us to have a real talk, alright? Let me see. My first giveaway is going to go to especially Angel. Angel said she was waiting for the show to happen and she just have one comment so far for the show.
We need backup.
Yeah, I don't know what's this. Kenyan Will. Congratulations,
Can I do my
Kenyan.
story?
Sarah,
Look at that, ladies.
Nice.
You all have men winning giveaways for commenting more than
Sarah,
you all
you're
on
rich.
the 5 things women hate. Men do that. woman hear that men do. Come na man, only. Come na man. Because last week the ladies was out. For the men's side, the ladies was out. All they making us look bad, man. Come on. All right, so Kenyon, well, congratulations to you. You are the
They want
winner.
to dominate the men and them. That's when you're good.
You are the winner of our Starbucks voucher. Congratulations. And guys, we still have our multimedia headphone. Let me just get that up on the screen here. We have a multimedia headphone and we also have a selfie ring light, all right? So all you have to do is comment to win one of these awesome giveaways, all right? We're going to go back to Kyle now. We're going to continue with our list. You all can continue with your list as well, all right? Tell us what you like. No, not what you like. Tell us what you don't like, all right? And fellas, if you all know a thing or two as well, feel free to comment because so far, again, more comments from the fellas than the ladies. All right, we're going to go back to Kyle now.
That fellas commenting.
Anyhow, Olia, share this show, Olia, let me get this thing even more spicy. And women, let me hear all the thoughts now. I interested to hear all the thoughts because I was some other opinion. Number 3 we say is lack of communication or poor communication.
What difference in communication?
Yeah, well, they say like maybe you're doing things and just the way you explain,
The way the communication comes across.
One of the examples they give is that sometimes somebody, they don't want help. You just want to talk and vent.
Like you just come to share, probably had a hard day or something, you just come to share and they telling you how to fix why they're sharing. That could be annoying.
It could be annoying.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like basically you're telling your story and it's like they're trying to tell you what you're doing wrong with it, and you're like, I'm not looking for your opinion. I'm talking. We are talking about what happened in work. I'm not looking for a solution either.
Yeah.
I'm sharing with my friend, my husband.
Yeah.
You know, like how girls would get together and talk, right?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yeah. And the girl understands it's not really advice you're looking for.
It is sharing. It is
you know, you're
expressing.
going back and forth. But the guy's like, okay, where this going? So you want me to tell you what to do in this situation? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But I think, though, it's kind of natural. It's not, when I say that, men, I think their personalities are
To solve
they're
problems.
problem solvers.
That's true.
They look for a solution. They're the head.
Yeah.
So when you come to them as a wife and you come with an issue and they think,
Yeah, they want to fix it.
Right.
We just
It's
want to see you
advice.
happy. We
Hogwash.
just want to see you happy.
Yeah,
If something
hogwash.
upsetting you, we want to see you happy. So we want to
Hogwash
solve
on
it.
your part.
How does hogwash do?
I think
You
the
know,
intention
so
is
we
nice.
problem solvers. So we want to
Right.
solve the problem.
Right. But what the ladies were talking about, though, because again, the people express this as a problem. So the woman might tend to talk, and women give stories. We know
Yeah.
men are not like that. They want you to get to the
Straight
point.
to the point.
Right? What you're trying to say here, what you want, what's the solution, but the woman want to talk. And the woman might feel, I guess, slighted if the guy, like if he almost hurrying you along.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, get to your point kind of thing. It's
Yeah,
like, you know,
yeah.
you feel like, okay, what more? You feel less valued. You feel like, so what? You don't want to hear. You know, you want to talk, right? And what's the funny thing though, ladies, right? When you were courting, the married ladies, you tell me. I know for me, when I was courting, it's hours
It's
talk.
always.
And it's not me only talking, eh?
Hours.
Hours of talk, hours
Hours.
of talk.
From morning
when
to-
you get married, you want to have them hours of talk. Where the hours of talk gone?
Good. That's a good point.
Still want where the hours, you know what I mean? Is it that it's not important anymore to communicate like that? You know, so the woman, to me, in my opinion, it's something that is natural to women, but men tend to do it more when they're trying to get the girl. All the fellas in here, that
Yeah.
man here
This
smiling,
is
true.
and next one over there smiling, man hand up in the air.
This sound like,
no.
to me, fellas,
No.
this sound like blasphemy.
You can't
but,
talk, sir, in
you
the
know?
booth there. You are not married. You cannot talk. So you don't know what you will do when you get married. You know what you do? No! Right?
This sound like blasphemy, but continue.
Right? But, so generally, I think that's what the women mean.
Yeah,
That the
difference in
communication,
communication.
it's not that men don't want to communicate, but I think they communicate differently.
Right.
And so that causes a problem. So the woman
Right.
might feel a little, you know,
So what you want me to do? Could this solve the problem? If it is,
he just did what we just talked about.
No, I
right?
just said-
Okay, so where are we?
Evidence.
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 so I just want to talk and tell me what they do like, and only way to solve it. You can track coming from, it's the lack of communication here.
Right? When we get to number, to be a little
No,
more
ask him.
right, for the man
So-
to be a little more sensitive.
You have
So-
to use empathy, you know?
So could it be, right? Could this be two solutions, right? Fellas, all the time, if all you agree with this, right? Could you all, before you all come home and could you all send a long WhatsApp message about everything? And we read it. And because we are trying to figure out, number one thing, right? Is it that you all want to vent? Or you're trying to tell us your problem? Or you want something to solve?
Well, what I would say, I think if you use empathy, if the person coming and sharing, they probably crying, whatever.
Crying?
Listen, I'm just saying, depending on the scenario.
Once a woman crying, talking to a man, they basically.
But I'm just saying, right?
Like, why go and do it?
Right, so the person expressing themselves, right? At that point in time, use emotional intelligence, and you say, you know what, listen, say, paper can understand why I might feel like that, and then after, you have more influence to solve the problem rather than starting to solve the problem.
No, but you just say just now you didn't want to solve a problem.
No, but I'm just saying.
I know, but that's the point where we're trying to say that you didn't want to solve a problem, you just want to
I'm
communicate.
just saying, start with empathy.
Okay.
Start with empathy and say, you could probably try to say, yeah, I can understand why I might feel like that, and just, then you could probably segue into solving problems rather than starting.
Or another thing too.
We got to start off with empathy.
Yes, empathy is
Right.
important.
Sometimes the woman wants your undivided attention.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Eye contact is very important.
They want, right? So you don't want the person to be on their
Yeah.
laptop
Yeah.
or on their phone while you're talking, and you have to say you're listening. Now that goes both ways. Sometimes that happens to me too.
Are you watching
right,
TV?
doing
I don't
something.
want to say that
Yes,
women
okay.
just do that.
But
anyway.
yes, but again, it was brought up where you want the undivided, or you're playing a game and the woman
Right.
talking. Put the game down and let me listen to my wife. Much more important in the moment, the game or your wife,
Right.
Right.
the conversation or your,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, fellas will realize how this come. What's more important? You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like,
Well, yeah, well,
More
yeah,
important.
But I thought
Well,
they
yeah.
just want to vent.
well, yeah.
I agree.
I thought they just want to vent at this moment. So the importance is we should be available for it to vent.
Absolutely.
No, but not only that. We're not only talking about venting, just communicating on the whole.
Yes.
No, but at the point in time, all they do want is so, right? I'm just trying to figure this out earlier because I get a headache. We start off saying that you don't want the problem solved, right? You want us to listen.
Right.
But then you want us to somehow communicate something a little different. So I'm trying to figure out what that is.
No, I
So
don't know.
are we to just drop we know what we're doing and just listen?
Okay, let me ask you a question. I'm
Go ahead.
being honest here, right? And it goes both for both. I think
Male and
both
female.
male and female in a relationship, right? If you meet a stranger and they're having a serious conversation with you, and your head is constantly down, right? You talking to the stranger, you will automatically assume
The person
this
interested.
person does not regard me. They
Yeah.
don't respect me.
You see, that's I being honest. When I assume now, say, well, excuse everything okay?
No.
Yeah, why would you ask if everything okay? Because it's not a normal thing to do.
No, because maybe they're doing something else and I just want to know.
Right.
No, Kyle, but they have
Kyle,
non-verbal communication.
No
is
problem.
important.
No, he said the right thing. You will at least ask the person, you
Alright,
okay?
so
I'm talking to you
I try to
here.
communicate.
Right, I'm talking to you here.
Right.
Why? So it means I just wanted to establish that it's not a normal thing when you're
Right.
speaking to somebody that there's no eye contact, there seems to be no interest.
No,
and-
sometimes
Yeah.
in a sitting conversation,
Or the
you can be
interest
focused and
divided.
listening.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the times
Yeah.
you're not stop it now. Of course, it have times you're listening, right?
Yeah.
So with a stranger, so when in a marriage now, it shouldn't be accepted either. It's
Okay,
more
okay.
so now you're supposed to be attentive to your wife
Alright, so
and
that-
husband.
We
vice
understand that
versa.
part, right? We need to be a little more communicative, right? We are attentive, right?
Non-verbal
So what about the
communication.
point now where you're saying you don't want the problem solved, you just want to listen? How are we supposed to know that?
Ask a question.
Yeah,
But
or
when we ask the question, what is you want to do right now? You want to solve a problem or you want
But
to...
don't ask it like that.
Oh, so what we have to do now?
because that makes it sound like
Yeah, don't ask it like that.
Come on,
But
move right along. That's how that
Yeah.
song. Move
So
right
what are
along.
we supposed to ask? That's my question. What are we supposed to do in that moment? Because let's put yourself in the man's shoe for a second, right? You want to borrow my shoes? That we hearing you coming and telling us about something. This I went on the road and this girl do this and we're trying to figure out. All right, so what is going on here? Because we're trying to protect. We're trying to be. We want to know if it is.
True.
We want to know if it is something. You get stabbed. Something. We want to know what is really happened. So we try to get to the juice of the matter to know if you act. But the problem is you don't want to act. You want to just sit down and just listen at the moment. So how am I supposed to know in that
I
scenario?
think men miss like storytelling in preschool. The difference between storytelling, the difference between.
I find
Yeah.
you're supposed to.
Thank you.
Like
No, but
naturally,
then
When
that's-
I get to number
Oh,
one, it
gosh.
will cover everything.
Yeah.
It's true.
It is.
Yeah.
true.
It's a general problem.
This just
It's a
boils
general
down to
problem.
knowing your wife,
Yeah.
because
Go, you must know by now.
Because before you even begin to listen, you will be sitting down saying, "Okay, am I solving this problem or am I just listening?" And you wouldn't be listening.
Correct.
So at the end,
You thinking about where this going?
is
how
you,
this
you
gonna end,
listen
what
and
should
then
I
at
be
the end
doing?
of it, you.
But
you're
that's
just
not part
going
of our story.
live.
When you're watching a movie, you do the same thing.
Here what going on? Here what going on? I don't buy
When
it.
you're watching that movie, you're trying to figure out.
And
"Wait, now, I wonder who's the villain. You know, do the
And
same
yellow,
thing.
I don't buy it because when they're quoting, they know how to listen. They know how to
listen.
respond in the middle of the
You see
conversation.
that?
They stop.
They know the right thing to say.
Yes, they
Yeah.
know what to say. So it's
It's
crap.
true.
Yeah.
No, but
it's
and
crap.
many men just fall asleep to any conversation too.
If it's 4 o'clock in the morning, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
the rest of them
yeah,
will fall
yeah.
asleep.
So my point
But you're
is
talking
sometimes-
since 8 o'clock in the night. So it's
It's
rare
natural.
communication.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
So
okay.
they know what to do, but it's just that when they get married, they start to take things for granted.
Yeah, but
right?
why? Why is that
But
the
they
case
know
though?
how to communicate good and proper when they're trying to get the girl. Good communication.
Why is
Well,
that the case?
Why is that the
don't
case?
know.
I don't have that problem.
I guess
I'm not
it is-
married yet,
it
so I
is
don't
I'm
know.
still in a relationship, that's why.
My fiance they do I listen when you're talking, Nikki?
Nikki.
She don't wanna put I listen. Nobody can tell me I don't listen. I just
If
listen.
the answer was you're not married,
But that's
Kyle.
my point. She just
Right.
asked me why
Okay,
I say I
right.
you know I'm not married, so
Right.
I can't really give. But
Right.
at least right now I know for a fact. I just listen.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, you're
to
better.
anybody, to
You're
anybody
better.
in general. But that's another topic. But my
Yeah.
point is this: I was just trying to figure out really and truly this you know, are we to solve and you just are we to listen. I just trying to figure out how we supposed to know that any moment now.
No, you what?
Actually, Anthony used to ask me that in the beginning. The first year,
Oh,
that
you
used to
see?
give me real vibes.
Because at the same
That,
time,
I being honest, that question would annoy
That
the
used to give me
guy.
real
why?
vibes.
Because we
I'm
try
sorry,
to
Anthony.
communicate.
That
We
used to give
we
me real
actually
vibes.
trying to
Tell him.
communicate here though. That's a man putting effort and
And he
trying
was
to
saying, so how am I
communicate. So we
supposed to
trying
know?
to
I'm
say,
like,
well,
because you know me. You know me.
no.
Why do you
The-
even ask that
The
question?
very fact of the person asking that question is because they don't know. So you can't assume that the person knows.
No, but how you can not know?
Because the man actually telling you, I don't know right now. If it's so, then I just don't believe what we're saying then. If
come
it's
the
not
woman
really
don't have
don't know
that
what I'm
problem?
saying.
Yeah.
The woman don't ever
I
ask
find
that
that- I find
question.
So you're realizing that sometimes it's really communication also on our behalf, there's lack as well. Anyhow, we'll go to the number one. If all I want to go, just now we go to the number one because we're trying to tell all we do understand something here.
No, but I find that-
somehow we
but
just
Kyle-
assume that
Kyle,
we're
men are very
insensitive in the
smart. Men
moment.
just understand all kind of things.
No,
All kind
that's-
of complex things
Yeah, but
they
that is-
understand.
And they understand when you're quoting. I keep going back to that
Yeah.
trump card. When you're quoting, you
So
understand
simple,
everything.
so a simple thing.
Everything when you're quoting, you
That is not
understand.
true. That is not true.
That
Anyhow,
is true,
Yeah,
That
that
is
is
not
very
true.
Yes,
Kyle,
Ava.
That's not true. That's not
It's
true.
ridiculous.
Ladies,
Because you
please
see,
tell
when you're on a
us.
phone,
Married
a man
ladies.
can zone out, you know. When you're on a
What
phone,
phone?
when you're on a
What
phone
phone?
talking,
Are you talking phone?
talk to
Nah.
a man can just say, okay. True, yeah. And
You must know somebody.
There's
Must
no-
have somebody
Kyle,
play the game.
you're repeating. If they asking you
Must know somebody
questions, if they asking you questions, you know they're listening. Serious, this is one they
Yeah.
engage and you know the person listening. It's not just silence on the other end. It's
Exactly.
communication and they talking a whole load too.
Wow.
Real talk.
Well, you see, when I reach the point now, I just hope all you understand that at least we're trying to give a little input here and say we want some communication back as well. Right?
You know what it's like? Well, I put in the work in the courting, so that work done.
Yes, and now
Put in
relaxing.
the work.
Yeah, now it's
Now
relaxing.
receiving.
for the 3
You
or 4
deceiving
years.
you.
No, it's
Man.
because we know, well, let's say you courted somebody for 4 years, right?
You put
And
in the work.
You have
No,
more
no,
than
we-
enough time to understand
we know
that.
it at a point that sometimes it could be a confusing situation. So he said that, hey, let me try and figure out where's the pattern here now. Is it that you want help or you want to just talk here? That's what we're trying to ask. Because we know you for 4 years now, actually courting stage, and we know that sometimes they just want to talk. And that sometimes you
But
want
I
a
guess
problem
with that,
solved.
with time and years in marriage, it will improve. With hope.
It would
you know?
improve.
I think to be fair to the men, I'm going to try to be a little fair to the men, and
Yeah.
I'm looking at maybe me, right? Maybe the times the woman want to come and talk could be out of timing too.
That's good.
You
That's
understand?
one.
So you're seeing the, yes, Inyala, as you see
Yeah,
the
because
man
let me.
doing something.
Are you a wrongly person 24/7 when you're courting and you cannot think like
No,
that?
no, no.
All right, so in your home and sometimes the
Yeah.
situation is a little different.
Yeah.
So obviously, when you set your mind to what when you're courting, or you're going out somewhere, or you're going and do something.
So you know all your time devoted.
That time to
So
that.
it's like,
so,
okay, as he pick up the remote and he do so, step on the movie, you come, darling, we can talk. Right? I can understand a man rolling up here and saying, oh, God.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
now
yeah,
sit
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah.
Or he doing work, right? In my case, if it's
what
children,
about
he's
late
doing
in the
work.
night before you go and sleep though, and you want to tell us a story?
I want to zip it because something came to my mind, but I wouldn't. I would zip it.
I feel like no come to your
Yeah,
mind.
I would zip it.
No, but I'm just saying though.
Let's go to a number.
No, but it's the same thing. It's like late in the night, you want to give
Yeah.
a story because
Yeah.
we like bedtime stories
What
too.
you think,
You know what I mean? So we want to hear a bedtime story and sleep.
Yeah.
But apparently, all I want to get the bedtime story.
Sleep
I'll be
and-
stay up. You know what I mean? We stay up and listen.
Sleep
But you
and-
see, when
Yeah.
you know when somebody telling a story normally, you
Yeah.
fall asleep when it's late in the night. But apparently, when we hear a story late in the night, we're supposed to stay up like, you know, we's mosquito, like, you know.
Once when the woman tired, you understand that too. Late in the night.
Okay.
Yeah. When she's tired, it's a long day, you understand that too.
Okay,
right?
okay, no
Yeah.
problem. Because let's move on to number 4, people. And number 4, let me just pull it up here. Hold on 1 second. I don't know if that, you know.
Number 4, number 1.
No, it's number 2.
Well, number 2, sorry. I mean, I'm going to, technically, I'm going to up is number 2.
Yeah.
My
Number
bad,
two.
right?
You want to call them over for people who probably now join, like what was 5?
Well, the number 1,
No, 5.
well, number 5 was, you rephrased it first, because that was your pot calling kettle black. I don't know what it is.
We're talking about the difference in intimacy.
The way men might respond to
Yeah.
intimacy and the way women
Sexual
respond.
intimacy, because
Yeah.
I want that to be clear.
Sorry, sexual intimacy.
All right, and then the next one we had was
Intimacy
being...
is not only sex.
I know,
that could
but
be a
I
whole
just talk
lesson,
about
yeah?
specifically
Yeah.
because we're going back to the number 1 is being insensitive,
All right.
and that had to be dealing
Why
with
you
that.
bring-
and-
why you had to
okay,
say it?
Oh, sorry, oh gosh, well, sorry, forgive me now, boy. We come back, we're going to commercials. I'm joking. Anyhow, we see number 4 is being compared to somebody else, like how you call mother, even your past girlfriend. I don't know
Oh,
how to say
yes,
it, right?
yes, yes.
Yes. Story time. And then we have, they just want to vent. I don't want to solve the problem. Then we have 3. We have lack of communication or poor communication.
Poor
That, you know, you're trying to bring across
Yeah.
a story here right now, and we're supposed to listen to the story because Little Red Riding Hood. And then,
Yeah, because
you know, the wolf jump out.
No, because you
so
love your
we have to
wife.
wait till the wolf jump out to solve the
Watching Kyle's
problem.
fiancé here. Yeah? Listen, wow.
Anyhow.
I will pray.
We are number 2. Help around the house.
Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof, right? Or anything like that, right? That men do like to help around the house or whatever the case may be. I'll expound on that. Go ahead.
Well, not that it, well, again, we're not talking all men, because I
Yeah.
know the women and men
Yeah.
going to jump up. Not me.
Yeah.
But quite a few women did comment about it. Take all the time in there now. They're not even married, right? Quite a few women did comment about the fact that men might be a little insensitive in that area where they might see the woman doing everything. Like one person, that was her number 1 thing. She said she would normally do everything in the house, buy the groceries, everything. And if the bread run out, she have a car, husband have a car, he will come and say, so and so, they have no bread. So she would be like, well, okay, the same way you notice it have no bread, why you don't go and get the bread now?
And solve the problem because they're problem solvers.
Problem
huh?
solver,
Problem
right?
solvers.
But the way they solving the problem is to come to the...
But we are solving the problem, but go ahead.
Right. Right.
You just
So-
don't like the method, but
Right.
continue with the story.
And I guess basically, I think too, where that might be a issue too is if a man has a thinking, and I think it has a lot to do with how they grew up and what they saw as their mother,
roles.
the role their mother played as a wife and a mother. And if their thinking is, well, this is what the woman should be doing, clean, cook, this is a woman's job kind of thing. So that if anything falls short in that area, well, obviously you come to the woman. And I guess that as a woman, you could feel, whoa, you know,
It's like I do everything wrong here.
yeah. And not that you have a problem doing what you're doing, but if you fall short, why
up the slack.
pick up the slack?
Pick
Why
up
is
the
it?
slack.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
For me, well, Anthony helps out around the house, but there are things that he do that's different to me. Like something that I will think is automatic. If you open a door, close it back.
Close the door.
One action, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
That is 2, but
You
go
take out
ahead.
the garbage bag, what the garbage, you put it in your garbage bag, you know?
don't leave
Just
it empty.
Complete the task.
Yes, and you have the cover off. Well, I put all the garbage, yeah?
Yeah.
The bin empty, then the cover on the
Yeah,
ground. Right?
I don't
put
understand
empty, then I
that.
carry it out for you. Okay, and you know?
Yeah, things
or
like that.
the clothes basket here and the socks and the
Right
on
next
the
door.
side of the basket.
2 inches close, 2
2
inches
inches
away.
close
Okay.
Or the
up.
plate
Yeah.
to the side of the sink.
Yeah.
I don't
The
understand
place
that.
at the side of the sink, I thought that was a problem unique to me. I actually shocked here today.
Yeah.
She's good to fellowship with other women to hear Inyala say that she has that issue too with the plate, the empty sink,
Yeah.
or full, whatever, but the plate is at the side of the sink. Yeah. So these
Things
are
like that.
strange things. These are strange
Very foreign.
things.
That's foreign to me. I don't know how.
These are strange things.
I don't get it.
Okay, so what is your way to do?
Be a little more sensitive in those
and
areas.
just do the right thing.
Yeah.
The plate.
Partially, you all saying that like if you take out the garbage bag,
Yeah.
put back a new one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but now if that's just our way, we just really do anything in the moment.
No. How is
Obviously.
that
Your way. Your way. That's not a
And
way.
you have your way? You do
Yeah,
your
but
thing?
no, but my whole thing. Okay, so Kyle, let me answer this.
Go ahead.
Right?
Tell me.
Nah, this one might be a little thing. If the toilet paper, you know what I hate to see? Well, this doesn't really
Yeah.
happen in my house. When I go somewhere and I see
This
the
is what we want.
toilet paper
Or
have
use
one
this.
more ply,
Yeah.
Change it.
wow.
No, I almost took a picture the other day. That was worse than that. Is you leave the empty roll in
This
and
be
you
getting
rest
nice
the toilet
stories.
paper on top of it, the new toilet paper on top the empty thing.
That I
Because
don't
we
understand
see that of no importance to be inside of that there.
Oh my God.
I'm just telling you, we see it of no importance for that thing to be inside that roll and spinning it so. And doing so, plow, and spinning that thing. We just want to do something.
I almost took a picture the other day. I was like, the new roll on top the empty roll in the.
My whole thing is that if you're doing something, do it well. Don't do it halfway.
But that's doing it well for us though. We just put the rest down nice there. No, I'm not saying for everybody. Maybe there's some people who like it. So there's some men who maybe like the
That's
plow.
not of like Kyle. That's what it's for. That's
Yeah,
what it's there
that's
But
what
for.
that's what it's there for you.
Kyle,
I am not being difficult. Oh, my house, I do not use that thing. That thing there, I'm not spinning.
What?
I don't use that. That's just me.
so you like it the old-fashioned way?
That's a nice fashion. I get to play it direct and you know, the other same. That's just my way of dealing with it. Yeah.
Oh, Father, bless my sister Nikki.
But you mentioned saying you have the same problem, bless you too. But
It's a man thing, clearly.
and you know, saying that the same thing is sitting on top of the new
But
one.
it's a
and-
man
Yes,
thing.
but I don't think that's his reasoning. I don't think he would have a reasoning. Well, I just, you know, it's just he knows if you come and
He
see
just
it
wanna
in,
finish, yeah.
after you would see it in there somehow.
Well,
I just think you need to finish
toilet
it fast.
paper. You
obviously, if
toilet
it's in
paper
there, I'll
fairy,
give you
came and put
example.
it in.
Well, obviously, I'll give example, right? If I come over in your house
Right.
Right.
and I go in the bathroom and it's in there, I'll go use it. I'm gonna ask you for could I get a new toilet paper? So the same when the man saying if it's inside there, I'll go use it. If it's not in there, me beating up to put that inside there because I'm using it
Okay,
regardless.
all right, Kyle. All right. So if you open something,
Uh-huh.
say you're drinking, you use a ketchup, you use peppers, whatever it is, you open it, you use it. The natural thing is to close it back.
True.
All right.
Whoa, where we going with this?
Complete the task.
Okay, so by the point in time, he is completing the task, you know. Here's the task he completed. He take all the pepper and he see the nice food that you cook. He don't want to compare it. He's just hungry. So he take the pepper and he throw it on the food and he rest it on and he say, see, this food is too irresistible.
There's
And he
no
eat the
time to
food.
close it
Yeah,
back.
he just forget it. You know what I mean? It just come out of his mind totally that I had a cork and it was on top of that. He just want to eat the food right now. Could that be possible? Could that be possible? Could that be a possible theory you're asking? Could that be a possible theory?
No,
No.
Kyle.
We mean that's not a possible theory.
I know what the problem is, you know. Their mother used to close it back, or somebody
Oh, right,
did
right,
that growing
right,
up
right, yeah.
used to close it back.
Or
all
they
the
might have
time.
closed it back when they're ready.
The close it back fairy, the toilet paper fairy,
The opening the
garbage
doors,
fairy,
the doors.
right? They come and do everything.
Right?
Yeah.
So what we're supposed to do, close back the bottle.
Just
That's
complete
not-
the task.
I just
Kyle,
saying, I just asking a
Excuse,
question.
if you go to a restaurant and you use the ketchup, you would just
Don't
leave
give
it
that as
open.
an example. People is eat all how in a restaurant.
You would do it in somebody's house though. Use
What's
something that they have in the kitchen and just leave it open and go.
I wouldn't be doing that in nobody's kitchen.
But some now,
You
you're
know what I
at
mean?
table
Like,
eating
yeah,
and
you
you have
invited
something to
somewhere.
open. Sorry, and would you leave it open?
Generally, people is actually leave it open because they say somebody else going to use it. So I just being honest. Generally, people is do that. They
No.
leave it on the table for
You
other
know,
people to
people
use.
know proper
because we trying to
manners
be courteous.
outside of the home. They wouldn't
We
go
just trying to be
outside and do
courteous
that.
because-
But
But again, it
Do
has
you like pepper
somebody there
sauce?
to do it.
Yeah.
You like pepper sauce and ketchup? Well, we just try to. I sure your husband, if he does do that, and I'm saying he does do it, he just being courteous to you. Because since you want to use it,
Kyle.
he just being courteous to you, because He know the cap off and he say, hey, watch me. I'm going to get a call here just now in 5 minutes to open the bottle because I told her like to open bottles. Because instead of me closing the bottle, he said, I'm going to help you here a little bit. Let me leave the bottle open for you. Oh, that's song. That's not trying to help you out a little bit here. Oh. I know.
Realize it.
That is amazing to me. I'm always astonished.
Okay.
Because you know why it's astonishing too? It's not a hard thing to do.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a simple thing.
It's so easy to just
Open the door, close it back. Open the cupboard, close it back.
Which door are you talking about here now?
All doors. All
Just
doors.
asking. Like a bedroom door or something?
Cupboard
Like
door, like for example, like he open the cupboard to take a glass and it's ajar. It's not like closed back or it just, I don't know.
What about you with the doors?
I have a problem with the bedroom door. Not many other doors, but the bedroom door. Yeah. Chrissy say I have a phobia with doors or something. Remember Chris talked about that too, Cindy's game, like, if you come in the bedroom and you just leave the door open, it's like, why? I would shout out, yeah, leave the door open.
Yeah.
Chrissy, whoever it is.
But it looks so much nicer when it closed and, you know, uniform. Nice.
I don't care about the cupboard door so much. I just being
Nikki, you like doors closed? I'm just trying to figure this thing out, yes? But anyhow, all I say, that is number 2. Let's go to the comment section. We come back to number 1 because you all know this is going to be the hottest one because it's number 1 and you're going to see where all our problems lie. But go ahead,
Okay.
go ahead, Eva. Let
But
me hear
because
what
we went on so
online.
long, I lost a good bit of comments. But but I see some husband and wives going out to tea on this Patrice Plaza Alexander. Sometimes we are just working through our feelings at the same time. Now remember, some of these things will pertain to what we discussed earlier, right? Because we didn't come to comments for a while. Katie, you know a man weren't carrying on. You know a man weren't carrying on. So Kyle's behavior, the last program when women were getting bashed, we listened and humility is true. Thank you, Katie. That's a great observation. Sarana John T. Thankfully, I could never complain about help around the house. My husband went there. All right. Crystal Gore, men help around the house, but why do we have to ask for it to be done? Well, men. Anyway. Ayana Frederick. I'm watching for the very first time, but I'm not at all surprised. Good night to you, Ayana, and welcome to the Real Talk Show. You're coming to a serious one here, but I hope you're enjoying it. Cindy Meal. Cindy, when I read this comment, Cindy say, help around the house? What that feel like, boy? And Cindy commented earlier, I actually remember the comment. She commented earlier, and Chris commented. So she commented, or Chris commented and said, yeah, here, glad. Something along those lines. Sheila Prasad, if you marry a man and knowing, oh man, the comment went. Elijah, go away, watch make out thing. True Carla, good night to you, Carla. She says true talk. Chrissy Mead, he say, oh gosh. Valina is laughing. Risa Mark, sorry. A guy once said when men see women hurting or trouble, their first instinct is a solution. They go past the tears and talk and just want to know what can I do. Might seem cold and insensitive and uncaring, but they just want us women smiling again. Okay, that's very nice. Valina Pinnock, I knew the plate issue was gonna come up again. Crystal Gore, open the cupboards, doors remain open. Open the cupboard doors remain open. Bones in the plate while in the sink. Yeah, the bones in the plate thing, that's a serious one. Let me see. Risa Ma. Kyle is telling the truth. Listen to him, ladies. We think.
Is that lady talking?
Risa, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What she said?
Kyle is telling the truth. Listen to him, ladies. We think differently. It's no one to hurt. What's needed is communication.
Man, you talking about that one?
No,
Valina. Kyle, I have no words for you. Valina said I have no words for you, Kyle. Look at that.
Hit me today, boy.
John Furman, good night to you. John says, nah, Kyle. Anthony McLeod, before marriage, we had talks about chores. We try to be easy on each other and understanding when things aren't done. Not making a big deal about chores, but I think more for us guys, we have to take an L and organize the ways, etc. I rather suck it up and do those minor things, but I still leave place by my desk. Lol. All right, well, Anthony seemed like he on the right path there. And Jeanette, good night to you. She says, on point, ladies. Angel, oh, good Angel, these are serious comments here. My husband works very hard, so I don't expect him to do much around the house. I work hard also to ensure I make things easy for everyone. The fridge is organized, the closets are organized, the cabinets are organized, and all our files are organized in alpha order. And the list goes on. Oh gosh, just put the thing back where you find it now. Geesh. Okay, I can understand that one.
Nice, I will take blame. Make it organized.
Ayana Frederick, I really hope he's not talking for all men because this just seems hopeless. Hopeless, Kyle. Chrissy Meal, do it well, guys. Crystal Gore, men and women need separate toilets and baths, lol. Oh boy. AJ Allen, Kylie talking facts. Things woman fret over, we don't. Anthony McLeod, I agree with him. The household things may concern us, just not as much as the woman. Men generally won't lose their sleep over where's at the sink, at the side of the sink. I think that's because they know there's somebody there to clean up after
Clean it
them.
up, yeah.
That's not true.
Kyle,
Man just doesn't lose sleep at all.
Crystal Martin, la ladies, don't come for me. I sometimes put the full roll on top the empty one. Not all the time, but sometimes. Shame on you, Crystal. Talita Grant, it isn't a man thing. I have some male friends that keep their house better than some female friends. I guess it's probably kind of like the majority, Talita. Crystal, well, yeah, Crystal, we all disappointed in Crystal there. Crystal, we spend so much money to make our homes look good organization on 100, then men come and ball it not necessary. I hope these are my portion, huh? John Furman, no Kyle, it is what you grew up with. That could be true as well. Crystal Go, I'm not a teacher. I don't want to read and spell for you. Let me just, oh, there's plenty comments here for you. Remember, they were in their own space for parents' home. Therefore, if he's 40, 30, 20 years of learned or cultural behavioral patterns, again, communication and compromise. Let me see. I just want to get on to some of the more recent comments. I'm looking at Kyle differently from tonight. Valina said that. Katie, failure to admit he is wrong. Something like how Kyle trying to rationalize the wrongful behavior. They come out for you tonight, Kyle.
That's exactly what
Crystal
he's doing.
Martin,
Oh gosh, the toilet paper, the whole
you
roll is
know what
wrongful
says?
behavior.
Men want a full-time maid. Hey, wow, full-time maid. Ayana, this is my first night, bad first impression. Kyle, don't worry, he's a very nice guy, ladies. She probably don't mean it in that with me. But don't worry, guys. Kyle is usually a darling. He's just being the space.
No, he is speaking it.
He
I'm not.
is,
Everybody
but
else.
he's still a darling.
I having fun.
Somewhere under all that miserable craziness, he's a darling. And like Elijah Core, God sent me to open doors. That's a good
And
one.
he told us he closed door, he get closed.
That's
you
a
can't
good
close
one.
the doors, you open. So I just being like Christ. I just being like Christ, I open doors and no man can close. And
Me,
I close doors
gosh,
and
yes,
no
have
man
a
can
thing for
open.
closed doors, Ayana. He is a great guy, dude. Don't say yes, it's true. Demi, I like doors closed. I hate flies and mosquitoes. So my front and back doors, room doors, windows. Flies and mosquitoes, that is why. I feel something wrong with Crystal, you know. Crystal does do the toilet paper thing, and now she asking, but which doors though? You mean like the linen cupboard doors? Like, I feel she could be guilty of the doors thing too. I just say, Crystal is one of them, you know. Crystal is one of them. Risa Mark. Ooh, this is a long one here. How many women were cleaning their boyfriend's rooms or apartments when they... Who does clean their boyfriend's room? Risa Mark?
Clean your boyfriend room.
When I was in the word after that.
How many women were
Separate,
cleaning their
separate.
boyfriend's rooms or apartments when they visited? You didn't complain or such then. Girl, nobody wasn't cleaning nobody's room to
But I was not. I never advised anybody to do that.
Clean your boyfriend room.
Hey, look thing here. You didn't complain or such then. Or maybe you did, but you married them as they would. That is true. You marry them as they were without discussing or saying what you will
God.
and will not stand.
Yeah.
Next thing, the guy and you are shocked when living as a husband and wife and actually expecting to change or no change was to be. Or no change was to be. The thing is too, sometimes you only see people in a certain light when you're married.
In a certain
when you're
setting,
married,
yeah.
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 And it this goes back to the same thing Onika was talking about too, where somebody will change like from courting period. So when they actually marry, they change in certain ways. Anthony McLeod, you can't make a man care about housework as much as you do. That's the mistake women make. All right, I could hear Anthony on this one. However, when men need see it as a part of making peace for the wife and meet her in the middle. Right, Anthony, I feel you're a nice husband. You sound like a good husband, Anthony. Not that Anthony, another Anthony. Anthony's a good husband too. I can tell Anthony's a good husband. Alistair Roman, women have their way of doing things like men do as well. It's all about communicating, understanding each other, working together. True. Alright, I just want to read 2 more comments and that's it for comments. For now, Angelia Dell, scraps in the plate in the dishwasher, shaking my head. Well, yeah, we get through that one already. I've learned so much during my last 7 years of being single and growing. Risa Mark. Risa, I feel that is why you say what you say, you know.
Hey.
Going around. Going trade talks for Angel. Eva, the doors is a valid question. Crystal, you need help. That is what's going on here. You see, Crystal live home for too long. Adele Daniel, listen, I can't complain about him cleaning. He on point, but leaving the toilet seat up is his downfall. Okay, alright, giveaway time. I don't even know who I've given this giveaway to. Let me see. I want to give it to somebody I've never given a giveaway to before. Crystal Goa. I stepped on your name. Congratulations. You are the winner of our selfie ring light. Congratulations to you. And this again, guys, was sponsored by Carl's Construction. Just give Carl's Construction a call for any of your heavy equipment needs. His number is 385-2775. All right, you could ask for the backhoe man, or you could just ask for Alberto Mendez, whether it be jackhammer, auger, backhoes. Even if you need transport, if you need gravel or sand. And they also have a special promotion right now on if you're purchasing topsoil and you're purchasing a load, you can get free delivery and it's $250 a yard. All right, so just give Carl's Construction a call. That number again is 385-2775. And we still have our final giveaway, which is a multimedia headphone here, sponsored by Megamark. So keep your comments coming, guys, because we still have this really cool giveaway here. So you could be the winner of it, all right? We're gonna go back to Kyle now. Kyle, behave yourself, right? In this last portion here.
Nah, man, we're having fun. At least I am.
Don't be learning.
Yeah, I am learning a lot. So we're going to the number 1 now, and I just want to leave a little PS or a little this comment that all call the police for me. Tell them it's a case of emergency. We're going to number 1, and here is number 1, right? We say, I guess I kind of sell it out, that men are very insensitive. That's what you all say? That's like in the area of communication and everything. And
Well, yeah, it's sort of a general.
it's a general.
Well,
They could be more sensitive.
right. More. I mean, women
drop
can
it
be
all, go ahead.
sensitive too as well. But based on what a lot of women told me, right now, there's this thing, and I disagree with the women here, where they expect the man to know what they're thinking, right?
Agreed, yeah.
So it's like something happened, a situation, and the woman get mad, her mood change visibly, and the guy's like,
Trying to figure it out.
yeah, and she's like, he's supposed to know. So like, it was the number 1 for a few women. Like one person in particular said, let's say, she gave an example, right? Like, you bring home Chinese food for me this week, and I tell you, I don't like Chinese food. I didn't eat it. Then the next week, you bring Chinese food again, and you say, well, I don't like Chinese food, you know. So the 3rd week when you bring in Chinese food, I just vex and I ain't saying nothing. So her thing is, you're supposed to know.
By now.
You know, why are you bringing Chinese food for me? And you're supposed to know I'm mad about it. Don't ask me why I vex. I vex for you bring Chinese food for me the 3rd week in a row, and I tell you I don't like it. I mean, that's a small thing, but it could be in any area where the woman might have a certain preference, right? And you think after, especially after a certain amount of years, by now he know I don't like this, or by now he know I like this, and he doing the opposite.
Yeah.
And so when you get annoyed, your thinking is, obviously he know. But a lot of times the guy actually don't know.
Yeah, they're just oblivious.
And you have to read and spell. So I think it's a little bit emotional, not as emotionally intelligent
Yeah.
as women. That's what I think is the problem. So that you probably do have to read and spell for them ladies.
Well, here we get attacked.
Right?
Men, we're
So-
not emotionally intelligent as them.
It's
Right.
true, it's a fact.
So
It's a fact, okay?
So I think the problem is, it kind of goes on to communication, but a sort of insensitivity where the men,
Yeah.
because the things that are so obvious to us,
Yeah.
it's like, how could you not know what you just did, right? Like, let's say you're all right. Let's say example. Let me say example. Let's say you make fun of your wife in front of somebody, or you make fun, everybody laugh, ting, 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 and when you go home, you vex. You ain't saying, you're not saying, but in
Right.
your mind, you're thinking he clearly knew that that was not
Right, appropriate.
appropriate. So you're not thinking you have to go home and say, honey, why you make fun of me in front of everybody? You thinking the next thing when you get in the car, when you realize you're vexed, you say, oh God,
Sorry about that.
sorry, girl, I shouldn't have do that now. So what the woman was saying is that there are obvious things that men do that are so insensitive that they would think that the man know exactly what they did, and they should, that's one area of the insensitive. And then also it kind of covers all the other points
Yeah.
that we, where somehow things that you think should be understood
It's not.
has to be explained.
Yeah, that
the man.
and I think you have the fact that you have to explain, that is where you could be a little annoyed with.
Yeah, and you're thinking, but how could you not know this would hurt me now? That's what you're
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah,
How
yeah,
could
yeah.
you not
Okay,
know?
okay.
And it's like you have to over explain. I think what I learned in few years, how long?
About
6
4
years?
years? 6?
Yeah, no, not married.
Oh. I'm going to say, where the time gone?
Together 6 years, right?
Together 6 years, okay.
Oh.
Six
right.
years, but men you need to over communicate. And then when you over communicate,
So hold up.
yes, it's a fact.
I find the words all you're using here now a little too sensitive for me, right? Which is over communicating.
Yeah, you need to over communicate to man.
Hold up. That's all the problem. One of the big problems is we don't communicate.
Y'all don't communicate, but we over communicate.
How we don't communicate?
We going back, we're going around.
No, I just get an example. Like, what a good example, right? This is
So-
good. This is how good
Okay,
story
but
we're
okay,
giving
support,
here,
okay.
right? We are in the public, something happened, or they get offended, or whatever happened, right? They hurt. We don't know that.
How you could
So,
not know
no,
that is the
listen.
problem, though.
Yeah.
Go
Listen,
ahead.
right?
Yeah.
Listen, right? All it, we don't know. So we sit down in the car, we driving home, we ain't
Mad,
talking,
you
silent, she been mad. So I try to communicate. I try to say, what I want, and it's like, I hear, you should have never heard Buju. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just like, I shouldn't. Well, you know, I just on kicks here right now, right?
No.
But I'm just saying, I'm being real here. You're worried to communicate, so I stop and I say, you alright? What is going on?
No, because if,
But what is happening? So
if you
can you tell me
communicate at
what is
that
going
point in
on?
time, you might say something bad. We're trying to process, but let's
So
take
the better solution for us is to
let's
just
take
do
example what Onika used about the young lady who said the Chinese food thing. She said it the first 2 weeks.
Okay,
So you need to say it again.
all right. What I had to do with the bigger picture, which is generally, women tend to get a little frustrated when it is you're communicating, like you're exactly saying, right?
No, we say we need to over communicate in order for you all to get it right. So if I tell you the first week, I don't like
That's
Chinese
actually
food.
two total different
No,
scenarios,
it is
right?
not.
So
This was what Onika was saying just now.
no, the one
Chinese food.
with her, what she is giving with the girl, is that something repeatedly happening, right?
Right,
In that kind of context
and
with food,
that's been insensitive.
right? That is one, right? So okay.
It's
man-
putting no thought into, you
Right.
just, you
Alright.
don't really want to
so
make
now
me
the one where
happy.
the man don't understand, right? So whatever the case may be, you're saying you have to over-explain, right? So you say whatever, and it is you're trying to talk and you're asking a question or whatever the case may be, the man asking a question. Why it is you don't answer?
No, well, I learn I need to answer, but some things are so like clear.
No, but
obvious.
even if it's clear to you, why it is you can't tell us to make it clear to us? Is it that we deserve to be clear to us?
No, I think
And we supposed to sit down and say, well,
no, but you are
well,
so
one we learn in
intelligent
school,
in
1
other
plus
areas.
1 in school.
This show is about what women hear that
Yeah.
men do, right?
I know, but I'm just trying to figure out to help the brothers. I'm trying to help myself here too, right? So we fall out, or whatever the case may be. We didn't fall out because I didn't understand we fall out, right? But something happened, you're a little touchy or whatever the case may be, and I'm trying to communicate here. I'm trying to say, well, what's happening, you get to explain to me. And you saying in the back of your mind, you saying you should know what happened here, right? I say now, and I say, well, it's clear to me why I'm asking that question is because I don't know.
Right. So
So-
I remember I started off by saying I disagree with a woman saying that
The
you
man should
shouldn't-
know.
You know.
Yeah.
But the fact is they should have known.
Yeah.
Why it should be a fact?
Because
Do you
sometimes
think,
the
do you
things
think
are so
sometimes,
obvious.
do you think it have things at times that women do that men think it should supposed to be obvious to, but men
No.
just do
I
sometimes
think
just be
so.
like, you know what I mean?
No. We are very observant.
Well,
Even though you're observant, that
so,
don't mean it might
are
have
you
something
saying
we have
that
a
men have a
misunderstanding.
problem communicating
No,
that?
I'm
Men
saying
will
that
say it.
sometimes we have a misunderstanding, and yeah, everybody is communication. Sometimes people see something some way, and somebody else sees something some way, depending on where you come from in your background in life. So I give you an example. If somebody was cheated on a simple thing like coming home late, and they wonder where the person. So in other words, you in your mind, you have a whole different programming because sometimes of your life experiences. Sometimes, right?
That's true. That's
so
true.
imagine now you trying to tell somebody that this is how you should see something, when it is that is not necessarily the case. Maybe I have a reason why I see in something a certain way.
Okay, well, let's think about the example that Unika use again with somebody probably make a joke in public.
Right, like we go with that one,
Okay,
right?
you're going home, right? You see a girl in a mood. Won't you the natural thing to do would be to think back at the events that occurred?
Not naturally, because
How is that not natural?
because we didn't. It's not like at the point in time something really happened. Like you say, we fall out in the moment. I'm just saying, right? Then like in the moment in time something trigger for me to actually know, well, the vex here, right?
Well, you
So-
must. I don't think the woman will go laughing in that scenario,
Yeah,
laughing
yeah.
at you know.
You must see,
Yeah.
So
because
you
you
must
know the
see her
person,
change
her
in
body
demeanor,
language.
and
Right.
you know, and
Yeah.
what the woman would like is as you reach in the car, say, "Oh gosh, girl, I'm sorry, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry." I
Also, we
shouldn't
go
have
where
said
you
that."
like. Continue I liking this. I like how we go in here, right? You would like us to say as we jump in the car, sorry.
No.
So fellas,
of course
all you
not.
learning from now,
Not
right?
like that. Oh, stop it now. You know what I mean. What I mean is there's some things why we use the word insensitive. There's some things that sometimes are just so obvious to the woman that it's just, you know, how you could do that, or how you could say that, or how come you're not doing this, how come you're not doing that. And for the man, it's like, why he has to be told? How come you don't know your wife by now, basically?
By now.
Or you don't know your girlfriend
So
by
hold
now?
up, you don't mean by now that I don't understand? No, I just if every time you had to spell and read something for me, right, you don't understand in the moment that maybe I just don't understand right now, and maybe I'm not thinking you on a high plane,
Yes, true.
you all on a different level to
That's
we.
more-
I'm glad. Say it again.
All on a I giving it up. All are more intelligent than
That's
us, all
right.
everything than us, right?
That's true.
So it's all a high-minded self. What bring down all to the wheel level and talk to me now and
No,
say,
but
well,
sometimes it's a little, you know, it could get a little tiring always having to come down and
nah,
having
don't
to
get
always come
tired.
in.
Don't get tired.
Always having
I
to
find out
explain.
everything all they getting tired, you know. In the night, all they getting tired when they come to activities. When they come to the, all they always tired. So
You know
I
what
trying to
is
say,
another
well,
part of the insensitive, right? We know about love languages, right?
Right,
Okay.
right.
Okay. So everybody does not feel loved
In one
the
way.
same way.
Right.
Right? For me,
Just
gifts
accept
mean
service.
nothing. Yes. You know, everybody loves to receive gifts. I'm not saying I would not be happy for a gift.
But it's
Anybody-
not-
But giving me a gift doesn't make me think, well, wow, you
I'm
love
the same.
me
I'm
Right.
the same.
at
yeah.
all. So
Okay.
it's not coming in my mind, right?
but
I
sometimes
just
if somebody do
appreciate
give you a
it.
gift, you'll be happy.
Of course, who
Of
wouldn't want to
course.
give?
I would, okay, like somebody who's my friend who give me a real
I don't know
expensive
if I have to
gift.
sell out
I would,
or sell out your story.
hush, no, because you can't sell out my story.
No, I'm talking about in the kitchen. Is giving an example. Actually, we're talking about being not understanding the person.
No, you could do that. Nah,
Okay,
nah,
okay,
nah.
I just saying. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. But go ahead, yeah, go ahead.
No, right? So what, okay, so the gifts don't mean much,
Yeah.
right? Maybe acts of service might mean more, but yet you keep giving gifts, right?
Right.
After a while, you, as a woman, you start to think, is it, you know, even if you, especially if you expressed it, if you said, well, you know, gifts,
Yeah.
nothing to me. After a while, you start to think, well, if you know this is not what makes me feel appreciated, but this does, is it that making me feel appreciated is not important? You,
Yeah, yeah,
obviously,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't, maybe that's basics to me. You don't love somebody how you feel,
Right.
you know,
But
they
ain't
should
Jesus
be
tell us
loved.
to love each other like we love ourselves? Then what Jesus said to love each other like you love yourself at that, Anthony. So if this how I know to love myself. I try to love you like I love myself.
Yeah, but if the person express,
Okay,
if
okay,
the person
okay.
express and say, you know what, gifts is, I mean, babe, I appreciate the gift, but You know, I would appreciate if it probably did something else for me. That's how I hear I love you. Because the point of love language is that's how the person hear I love you.
Okay, that's how they hear I love you.
Yeah.
So if the man stop buying gifts now, would it ever be a problem?
Not for me.
Well, I mean, for my birthday,
Talk that. When
someone's
it's your
gift.
birthday and I get nothing. And
How much time that happen?
I just saying. Yeah? Eventually you can get a little, the first time it happened, it didn't sting a little bit?
No, but I guess
Talk.
sometimes.
No,
I
okay.
guess,
Anyhow.
well, I guess sometimes if the person is doing something that is, like, let's go back to the Chinese food again, right? If Chinese food is just on the way, so the Chinese food on the
Yes.
corner to home,
Yeah.
and you just doing the most convenient thing for you.
For you.
But you don't
Correct.
care that I don't want that.
Correct. It's you're doing what is convenient for you.
Right.
The easiest thing for
For
you.
you.
So as an actor, you're doing it to make the person,
Yeah.
the person not appreciating it, they're not happy, don't make
Yeah.
it. But it's easier for you to do.
It's not that they want to do it in
So you're
service
not going
of the
out to,
person.
sometimes going out your way for somebody, that is like, wow.
Yeah,
you
because
know.
in the court, and I will go, babe, I will cross the ocean for you. I will do
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
I want
yeah.
to send to cross the
And you're
ocean.
crossing the ocean. All kind of drama.
Yeah, but now you're not crossing the ocean.
Yeah.
What ocean are we to cross? Yeah? Or they want us to drown or something? You see, if we drown now, they're going to be unhappy. They're going to wear a husband, you understand, Anthony? But my point is this, right? I don't have a point, but so you're all saying that you would like us to be a little more sensitive to what all you like and
Exactly.
your dislikes
Yeah.
and learn.
Not only that, Kyle. You're
So-
making it sound very, it's real broad. Remember, we talking about in general that you kind of have to read and spell a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot
You
of
know,
communication.
So we
Yeah,
talk about a
in
little
all
part of the
areas.
communication. I think at the same story, you all should understand that, you know, sometimes you'll complain about communication, right? I just picture it in my mind, right? So I just picture it in my brain how the cycle working, right? All that online, you might hate me more and more, right? But imagine you all saying, right? You find we don't communicate enough, but then when we're trying to communicate, you say we're insensitive now.
No.
It's what I mean is in the context of wherever they may be, because I'm trying to tell you.
You're not
I-
insensitive because you're communicating, Kyle, because you're just thinking, how could he have done that?
How could
and
he have
not
done
know
that?
that
So
it
I'm
was
trying to
offensive?
communicate, right? So I'm trying to communicate, right? So you realize why sometimes some men that's getting this default mode, where they just be like, whatever, almost like sometimes like whatever is like,
No, I don't understand.
because if it is a try, if let's say something does happen, right, and whether it be whether it be a sensitive topic or not, whatever the case may be, right, and I'm trying to explain something or trying to figure out where it is wrong, and let's say you go in a mode where you naturally think that this is supposed to humbug me or whatever, you're supposed to know this, right, and let's say we're living for that for a while, eventually it will come down to a place where
Oh, you mean the man would just
it's eventually,
stop
I just
trying
don't
to
know
find
because
out.
I'm trying to communicate,
Right.
no communication happening. I'm trying to figure out what to do and nothing
but-
happening, and eventually
but
it
if
can
the
up
person-
in.
If the person communicate and tell you X, Y, Z is the case, I don't like this, or like, I prefer this, whatever the case is. You want to try?
Yeah, I sure the fella does try, but sometimes that is life because two people different. So sometimes as life going along, two people see life differently, and that's just
Not
that's
Kyle.
just. What I mean is, why I mean no?
No, Kyle, because
So wait, hold up.
No, Kyle, I disagree.
Let me go. I just be honest with you all, right? This is gonna be the part that people cannot deny, right? Do we always do the things that God tells us to do or
no,
not?
we don't.
So why does you think so?
Well, because
Why
you have
does
your
it-
own will and your own way.
No, not some. Sometimes we just have our own way and our own thing, right? Is it something bad that maybe sometimes we
Yeah,
do?
that we don't do what God tells us to do. Of course it's bad.
I mean, in the context of, like, say, good on do it bad? Asking.
If we don't do what God tells us to do.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
bad, so it's not good.
Of course not. If we don't do what God tells us to do.
All right, so here's my
Right.
point, right?
Right.
So it's not good and not bad, he unhappy, he not talking to me.
No, God.
Of course,
No,
God is not
God
like
don't
that.
relate to us
No,
like
so that's my
that.
point. So I'm trying to get the concept of a relationship. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that if it is we trying to, because the Bible definition of oneness is actually when it comes down to a relationship with God, and He trying to bring all of us in oneness, right?
Right.
You brave to bring God in this, huh? But we go there after. Go ahead.
That's all right.
You go there after.
That's all right. But my point is this, right?
Mm-hmm.
We trying at the moment to say where we try to be one in this moment. And there's an actual reason why I'm telling you all why the Bible tells us we must love the woman like Christ loved the church and gave himself, right? Because you're realizing we just had to give yourself right through.
But we don't do it though.
What do you mean we don't do it?
Yeah, well, why is it number one?
What do you mean why is it number
Why
one?
is it that so many women complain? And if you are like Christ,
We
loving the
trying to
woman,
be. We trying to be. We trying to be. We trying to give our life. I swear I can speak for myself. I can't speak for everybody, right? We trying to be. We trying to be here. And Anthony has tried to be, but sometimes trying is not good enough. Sometimes, in other words, your relationship is a journey, not so?
Yes, it's a journey.
It's a journey. You can't get everything right in the moment. Correct? Ask
Yeah,
him.
but we talk. You know, true, you won't get everything right, but with time and if you communicate 20 times, like if I tell you the same thing 20 times,
Right.
and the 21st time.
So I don't want to
Yeah,
pull.
right.
I don't want to bring Anthony in this conversation. I'm just trying to be real here, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything he changed? You don't have to say what specifically.
Yeah.
If it's something good, you could do it, right? Is there something he changed that you say, well, after real talking about it, eventually he make a little. It might be perfect, but at least he put in a little consideration.
Yeah,
Is
so
that true?
Yeah, that's true.
Is there anything on your part that you could say?
I
well,
can't remember. It's been a long time.
It's been a
19
long
years.
time. He adjusts so much to you. That's
been
so
19
great.
years.
That's so great. He adjusts so much to you. That's such oneness here, right? But my point is this, right? Sometimes it's a journey, and that's when you're learning from each other, and you know. So why does that to be a big part of it, though? Why sometimes it just have to be that men just do, you know what I mean? I totally agree that sometimes we could be on two different pages. Men could be
Yeah, but the
insensitive
question with the show is about what we don't like.
I know, but even though you don't like it, right? I'm trying to get you to see that sometimes people sometimes think different to each other.
It's true, men are different.
So if everything just keep saying, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, what point of time you're going to stop and say, well, maybe sometime I just had to love each other in some kind of way? Because
Yeah,
I mean, the
love.
reason why I'm saying this is what is, these things that we talk about
Kyle
is eventually
Joseph,
go down to
though,
divorce.
Kyle
you know.
Joseph, I hear you,
Uh-huh.
but that's not the point of the show. That's what you should do in
What's
a love
that?
in a relationship.
Right.
That is what's required
but
of
even-
you. If
I
the man
understand.
never change,
Right.
Yeah, that way
you
you
still
pick.
love him, you still
Okay.
do your part as a wife, you
Yeah.
still
Right.
love your husband, you still honor your husband. Nobody disputing that.
Right.
But-
No.
Right.
Some people,
Huh?
these things as lead to divorce, no, so?
Not on this panel.
I know,
so
not
it's,
on this
it's
panel,
us
so I'm
here
just trying to
talking.
say that, right?
Yes.
There's many things that lead to divorce, right?
Right.
So my point is this, right? Where do we go if it is the point in time that you realize the person just don't understand? Are you just going to continuously say, well, you should know and you should know?
Nah, you're done with that. You're finished with that. You
Yeah.
do good. You just, yeah.
Okay, so what are you
Right.
supposed to do as a man? The man side of it now. What you would like the man to do?
What the Bible tell him to do.
What is
Love
that?
his wife as Christ loved the church.
And how are we going to do that?
Based on the
Any
communication.
situation. But we're trying to communicate. 'Cause remember, you jump in the
but-
car.
Based on what the wife
You're not
saying.
asking me if the man don't understand. After a while, that's not what you're asking. Well, what to do?
No, I just talk about in general. We talk about a general relationship, that in general things is always happen, right? That sometimes people might have an assumption that this is how things is go and it don't work out the same way. So what we supposed to do in that scenario?
Continue to love.
Okay.
Yeah. What else you do?
I don't know. I just trying to figure it out because what you think, Kenyala? You here to help us?
No, I agree with what Nika saying.
Yeah.
No, but the man just don't understand what it is you're trying to tell him. So what he should
Even though
do?
you can
Well, they could probably try to
No, you didn't
communicate it in a
communicate.
different way.
You
Maybe
didn't
the
communicate.
way you are
You get silent
communicating.
treatment.
No,
No,
but
I-
at some point you need
I
to communicate.
said in the beginning, I said in the beginning, Kyle, that I don't agree with women doing
expecting
that.
men
That's
to know,
silent
yeah.
treatment.
It doesn't solve
if you
anything.
Really, yeah, if you really want to get somewhere in the relationship and
You need
solve
to
the
talk.
problem, you need to communicate.
Right.
But many women do that. Many, they get vexed and they sit down and they don't watch it, and you have to probe and probe and probe. I disagree with that. I'm not saying that's right. But it's a common thing. I think it's part of the woman's personality. I don't know.
But it's also
I don't
a
know
common
if it's-
thing.
If
when-
it's attention, I don't know the woman.
but it's also a
you
common
know.
thing, Nika. If you tell the person about 15 times, this is what I expect, this is what I prefer, and they're still not doing it, that one get you vexed, fine.
Of course I get vexed, but my point is, if it is the person not listening, right? What we supposed to do?
Counseling and prayer.
We don't. I just told you.
You just
You
love
still
and honor.
It doesn't mean that if
So-
you're not fulfilling your role, that the wife doesn't continue to
To
fulfill
be, yeah.
hers.
Okay.
So love
Okay.
unconditionally.
Okay. I just trying to figure this thing out. I just trying to help all of us here, right? I need some help myself.
Clearly.
Yeah? So we need to love each other unconditionally. That's what you're saying?
Amen.
Okay.
And you let lying dogs lie. How do you
Sleeping dogs lie.
Hi, Monica.
Sleep
I,
window.
I got a request. Kuan says Ava asked Mrs. Narayan what year she didn't get a lovely gift for her birthday.
who?
A
What
lovely
year you
gift.
didn't get a
When
lovely
you
gift?
didn't get a gift.
I am sure, Kerwin, I am 100% sure there's a year that passed by. It's been 19. You can't remember. Where I did not get a gift.
Could
But
you
it's-
remember?
No.
So, and how you supposed to remember too?
But I remember, because
You can't remember, but he's
Yes.
supposed to remember.
Come now, Chrissy, and sometimes Daddy, there 1 or 2 times Daddy didn't buy anything for me.
Don't bring
Yeah.
Chrissy in this. You remember your own story.
But it's probably because I said, don't buy nothing. Like
Yeah.
you might say, I don't know what to get.
So
what you
hold
want,
up,
what you
hold up,
want,
hold
and I
up,
would
hold
say,
up. You
don't
tell
bother
him
with
don't
that.
mind nothing.
I'm not vexed. I remember I said he does nothing to me.
Okay.
But he asked the question, right? I can't pinpoint a time,
Okay.
but yeah.
I sure he's go out a little way and buy little things for you. Maybe he just don't like it. Say that.
let's move on.
No, say that. Don't say that the person don't buy nothing for you. Say that you don't like it, because that's a different
things for
conversation.
me. I never said he don't buy things for me.
Okay, because that's
I
a
never
different
said
story,
that.
yeah, to that.
But remember, I said it's really neither here nor there. You know what I mean?
Quincy, you're lying.
About what? Nah. See,
Don't call
lies,
Chrissy into
yes.
this.
see, it's not true. He has not bought gifts
No,
to me already.
if it is, you can recall it. Recall it. If you can't recall it, just say, well, maybe it's not true.
Yeah, it have times, man. We just
What?
went for
So it's
dinner.
better you just jump to the wrong far assumption of
But
not happening than
That's irrelevant because it really doesn't matter to me. That's not a good point to bring up.
No. This is an interesting part of the conversation. All you're listening online. I like this part of the conversation. I can't remember it, but it just never happened. So
It happened.
you understand? If you realize the kind of world we just live in, fellas.
Chrissy!
It never happened, actually. I can't remember it, but I know it never. I know it happened.
Nah, it's okay. It's happened. But it's
This is
okay.
the kind of bubble we started getting into, but
But that's beside the point, though.
No,
What that has
that's
to do
a
with
very
anything.
valid point.
No, it's not.
yeah, because it had to do with communication and it had to do with
What?
insensitive.
What
because
has to do with communication?
Because, I mean, if it is you can't remember something didn't happen, but you seen it happen.
It did, I remember. Yeah,
Well
that was
done.
always not calling Chrissy, but let's move on now.
Anyhow, you all, outside of those things, there is something you all think you could add to the list. If you also think of anything out of the top 5. There's something you say bonus. Number 3 in there.
This young lady, I guess because in my situation and in the other situation, we don't have a husband who would lord over us, right? And try to, yes, you're the authority, you're the head, but there are some men that are very strong and come across as controlling.
Yeah.
Not controlling in the psycho kind of way, abusive kind of way, but just to the point where, as some young lady listed, where they would use the Bible, use the
Submission.
scripture. And that's actually something as pastors that we'd have people come and counsel and say that, he would use the scripture and say, you have to submit, right? And Kevin would always say, from the time you tell somebody you have to submit, you're already
Yeah, that's
mashed.
not.
That's just the opposite of submission. And a woman not going to submit like that. That's not what submission even means. You can't tell somebody submit. It has to be voluntary. But I think that would be one, that a lot of men sort of use they use the Bible, even though it is truth, and they are the head, and you do have to submit. They use that to get their way in the relationship, to control, it's really to control the woman.
It's true.
Yeah. So that, I think that's a lot of,
That's a big no-no.
yeah, a lot of Christian men do it, actually, maybe more so than men in the world, because
Wow.
they know the
But men in the world
scriptural-
really need to,
yeah, they know the scriptural basis on this. They say, hey, I'm the
Especially
head.
people, I don't even know that verse, but go ahead.
Yeah, correct. They don't know. They can't
Yeah, I
use
didn't even know that verse in the world, but go
Yeah.
ahead.
So that I would add that to the list. The sort of controlling, men can be controlling. Just as women can, when a man controlling is different, And you have to be on your P's and Q's around them because you don't know what will get them vexed. And vexed, again, don't mean they will beat you.
Right.
But when you go home, it's like, you're getting both,
Well, that's something they could see through in the courtship, too, but sometimes they ignore those flags.
Yeah, people could pretend, men and women could pretend. You could pretend for 2-3 years, You could pretend.
That's so important to have the Holy Spirit in your relationship, right?
pretend.
Because sometimes they could see some bad qualities and the person could change, and the vice versa, the
Vice
opposite.
Yeah,
versa,
versa.
You
true.
understand?
Somebody could change, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes people coming from somewhere in life, their experiences, their journey, and you're agreeing with somebody
Yeah.
because if the opposite way is the same thing to true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Men
that's
is other
true.
proper things, women is other proper things, and we both
Yeah.
grow and
Yeah.
change in each other. But
Yeah.
see, how to involve the Holy Spirit in a lot of the
That is
decisions
true.
we make, you know what I mean? Because
Especially near a marriage. Who are you going to marry?
yeah, it's very true. So what else do you think the true one? Like, I have an interesting question, right? Like how men bring up something like you can see in the Bible like with nagging and different things like that, and being that way, and then you see maybe in the Bible with submission. Like you see where's one thing biblically you say men maybe just generally don't do that.
They like to
should
be
do-
unfaithful. They like plenty women.
Unfaithfulness is one,
Yes.
yeah.
So, what's your question, Carl? Sorry.
Like in the Bible,
Yeah.
you would see like in a
Women-
marriage, you would see where the Bible talking about like maybe a nagging wife or
Right,
something
right,
like
Women
that.
known for nagging.
And then
What
you would
men
see
known
like
for.
in the Bible, they talk about like honoring your husband, and you see that kind of that way where. But where's one way in the Bible they could see that portrait that maybe a
that men
man
continually make.
we
I
continually
would say
keep
with
making this
women,
mistake
yeah.
that
Weakness to the
sleeping
woman.
unfaithfulness is a big one.
Yeah, unfaithfulness.
It's a big one. Where's another one you could think of?
So lust, I would say lust.
Lust.
Let's
Lust
face it,
is
that's
a real
lust.
big one.
So men have an issue with lust, and
Because that's a big problem women have, right? That
Yeah.
they're going around shopping and the man just gaping.
Yeah.
You understand? He just gaping all over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in these end times where people dressing all how.
All
you know
how.
what I mean? So that's one big problem men have
You
to
know
deal
what's
with.
the next thing? You asked me if I could add to the list.
I think after you can say
How
something, I
men
was
could be
gonna say.
flirtatious at
Okay,
times.
wrong thing.
Yes, not my husband.
Yeah.
Listen, I thank God every day for my husband's personality.
Yeah.
He's the opposite of flirt. He's standoffish.
Yeah.
Right? So if ever I see him flirt, I will know it immediately, and I'll be like, I'm pulling him up one time because he's so don't do it. If you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But there's some men who have this charming personality, but the charm goes all around the board.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
charming with their wife, and they with their wife.
The
but
charming in work,
with
the charming
all
in-
women, you know,
Wow.
and women. The kind of man that woman be like, oh gosh, he's charming, eh?
Yeah.
He,
I
you
don't
know?
say, but that's not something women like. The man to be a little charming.
Your
Yeah,
husband.
you like it to be like
They
that
want your
for you,
husband.
but that's
No, but that's so much in the journey, like you're meeting somebody, they find this man real charming,
Yes,
boy.
but
then
the
you
charm
realize
supposed
he's really Prince
the charm
Charming.
supposed to stop at me.
you was asking something, Kyle, if you had any bonus ones.
Yeah,
Right,
just saying
this is-
like,
this is one of my
that's
famous
what,
ones.
like, you know,
What you wanted to
Prince
say.
Charming.
You remember we were talking about it earlier, but some women they want the men to feel special, and they think like probably for a special occasion or something they want the person to do something romantic,
Okay.
and sometimes they just don't do it. So that was one that came up in the
So
we
I
discussed
guess
earlier.
that falls into sensitive again.
Yeah,
When you want to be a
sensitive.
little more, they're just really insensitive.
Yeah,
You want them to be more romantic,
Yeah.
more, you know, yeah.
What about if that is maybe his way of, you know,
How-
like you're great, not just being honest? Because we're now getting to know each other and
Kyle, everybody have ways, but even in a
Yeah.
love relationship,
I know, but-
like let's go to God, right? When I encountered God's love, it helped me to change.
Yeah.
I'm no longer sin. I no longer do
Yeah.
certain
so waiting
things.
that the man are
And
romantic
it's
is
God's
sin.
love, Kyle, it is God's love and him wooing me that caused me to, I say, I don't
Yeah.
want to, I didn't
Yeah.
want to hurt God. I don't want to, you know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how.
yeah.
So when you love somebody, Kyle, even though it may not be you,
Naturally.
right? Naturally, you make an effort, you sacrifice, and you say, my wife likes this, so I will go out of my way to try and do
Yeah.
this. Not every day, but
Oh,
just
gosh, not
once
every
in a
day,
while.
not every
Okay,
day. Yeah.
so
She's not talking about every day. She's saying
okay.
once in a
I know,
while.
I just asking a
Yeah.
question. I was just saying, so if it is he don't know, how we helping him? Communication, right? Communication?
What you getting married for if you don't know a woman wants a little romance, Kyle?
I never say she don't want a romance, but it's saying that it is, you know, he had to do it a certain way. You know what I mean?
Well, like,
so I'm
every
going to
person-
add something to this, right? What about a chivalrous man? Because
Yeah.
you know they say chivalry dead.
No, it's not. It's not.
So what about that?
What is it saying? That kind of tie
That's
into romance.
yeah. Until,
Okay,
yeah.
so that a man should be opening doors and...
No.
He
I,
should
I,
be-
that was not on the list. But
No, but
mean,
I just be adding, so you talk more like in that same way with
Right.
romantic, because would you say that's a little romantic?
Yes, but if you not all women are the same. So, but if you know your girlfriend or your wife likes that, you want to try in that area.
Of course.
All right.
So, but I'm
That's
saying,
all.
what about that though?
That's what we're saying. So,
So
not-
what the-
What about, you know, that if it is a man not chivalrous in that kind of way, right?
yeah, but if you know your wife express that she would like it to try in that area, you want to try?
Yeah, but what about what we man like and this, you know what I mean? It just don't happen. And so I just say now, this will end up happening in relationships. I just being honest with you,
but,
right?
but remember,
People
relationships.
say, well, I find, well, I asking for this and this do happen, and you want me to, you know, tell me about this, and it just seems like both
So
of
it's
you
like give and
constantly,
take. Yeah,
both
it's
the time,
supposed
it
to be.
just constantly are back and forth because,
For me personally, if I realize that you are not, that is not a natural thing for you, especially that,
Yeah.
because I could see that being a kind of, how I should say, the man had a real step out, and yes, it would be nice, but if I realize you're just really doing it, and it's
It's not
it's
coming
like
from
you're
the heart.
literally forcing yourself to make, I after a while,
It's
just
different.
me.
Yeah, because it's not
After
from
a
it. It's
while,
just compliant.
I'm not going to ask you to do that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not going to feel though that you not doing it means you don't love me.
Yeah,
at
because
all.
you know that's not the
It's just
natural.
Not the
I have a
way
question
now.
along that
Just
lines.
not
I
the
like what
way.
you're saying now, right? You know, sometimes women tend to, I just, today I have counseling, guys. This is my counseling session here, right? So, you know, sometimes people, all these things you're talking about, I like how you see it, right? That sometimes it's just jump down to where women have this conclusion where there's an issue and it conclude that you don't love me.
Right. No,
Why is this that has happened?
Because-
Because that is irk.
No, but only because
It's
just talk about
irk.
love languages.
No, but that's not how, think about it. Imagine you saying like something simple like that. You do open door, you don't love me. imagine you hearing that now and you saying, well,
Yeah,
because
that's
I do open
that's a
and
little,
door.
like,
But that's the
extreme.
kind of communication that has happened generally.
extreme.
They don't stop and say, is it that you're just not like that or something? It's somehow is equivalent to you don't love me.
Well, you know why, Kyle?
Why?
Because the person don't feel loved. Because those are the things that make them feel loved.
Okay.
So I'm not saying it's right again.
yeah.
But if this is what makes me feel loved and I never get done to me or given to me,
Then I won't feel up.
then you don't feel loved and appreciated.
Yeah.
Right? The opening door, that's one thing, but it could be anything.
anything.
It could be anything. And if you never do anything that I
Because
appreciate and I want.
I remember hearing some ladies, they're not even married, they even know whatever, but the person didn't help them do something like carry a luggage or carry
a bag?
a grocery bag, and the person observed that and was like, they got big horrors.
I would have
They
big
say
horrors.
that's not chivalrous or something because they didn't carry a bag and they
See?
was walking with a bag.
I
and
think people's personalities are different, and I honestly think that a lot has
I
to do
have
with how you
this counseling from you
grew
guys,
up,
so you know.
what you saw as what you
In
saw
your
as the
home.
norm in your home, right? I would not even think of that. I wouldn't even look at that. I wouldn't even expect. I wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's automatic for me
Yeah.
to do everything, just do whatever. So if you come and you take it back the groceries,
That'd
for
be
me,
nice.
I would be like, oh, okay, it'd be
Thanks.
shock. It would be more shock to
Yeah.
me. I wouldn't be looking out for it. It would be more shock because you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but then I could see, I could understand where a woman might be different, and you know, for them, maybe I don't know, their father was always helping. I don't know, and then they feel like, okay, this is a sign of women are the weaker vessel, right?
Yeah.
Remember that? That's what the Bible says. So a woman wants to feel like she's special now.
Yeah, like that
you
is
know
it.
what I mean? Like she's special. Like I don't want your fingers hurt, darling. Give me that bag. Darling, I don't want that bag hurt your fingers.
Yeah, but I actually know somebody, it wasn't even somebody in a relationship with somebody, right? She was with friends from church. She went somewhere, a restaurant or something like that, and she was parked. Her car was parked in the dark. She had to walk a certain distance. And she felt hurt that none of her friends, her brothers
Male,
in Christ,
right.
then offered one of them at least to walk her to her car because it was a dark street. She really felt hurt. That wasn't, and that's even in a romantic relationship. So,
Right.
like certain things like that. Yeah,
And
it's just
I
one-
think that stems though from, it could be something in that person's thought pattern, something in their past, something. Because again, for me, if I feel unsafe, I'd say, when all you come and walk with me now.
Right.
I
You
find
understand?
that's a logical thing.
That's
Because
what-
instead of you just jump to a conclusion
you know what I mean?
or
Yeah.
a judgment.
Yeah,
or
I would say,
assumption
hey,
or
all you
whatever you wanna call it.
when all you can't walk up in the warm, you better not, you
Yeah.
can't walk up, you know what I mean?
I
But
would do that too.
I wouldn't take it as
Yeah, I would do that too.
hurt. You know what I mean?
Right.
But again, I think people, listen, what you went through in your past,
It
how you
affects-
grown up,
yeah.
it really affects your thinking, your mind, how you see things, how you perceive people, how you perceive their actions.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
most times you're wrong. And people make assumptions.
Yeah.
I have another
you know.
question,
That's
right,
true.
guys? I just asking questions here, right? You know, so along the topic, right? You know, we always talking about before number 5 was to do with romance.
Right.
I know it's talking about like sexually, like all I had to get to a point of something, whatever
Right.
the case. I just asking this question, right? I just wondering, right? So, what if now the things that you all considering, like, I just not maybe not all for you all personally, right? But like opening doors and different things like that, right? And you're all digging our horrors. Like I'm not saying you all. So
Right.
let's say a woman is digging our horrors because the man is not being like romantically
Right.
that way, right? Would it be for a man for him to do that, right? Because naturally, like you were saying, that should be somebody who want to do that, or
Right.
not necessarily one that should be in him or something like that, right? And now she crying, she emotional, she whatever, right? Whatever. You're hearing yap because of it, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
now you're forced to do something you don't want to do, right? Kind of like, right?
Right, yeah.
So in the same way of romance,
Right.
right? Is it that sometimes men are forced to show romance in certain ways that to them that they maybe might consider like at the point in time, like I'm just asking, right? Because maybe
Not just man or woman is forced and to do things too.
I asking.
You're talking about an intimacy?
Yeah.
Number
I say no,
5?
in the same way. I say in the same way it can be intimate, where the same way a woman might, they say a woman need to do all these things to, whatever the case may be, and they need to feel a certain way to be romantic, right? In the same way, do you think it's for some men, right? I'm saying the opposite now, right?
Right,
Do you think
okay.
some men now, when it comes to being romantic, that they don't naturally, it's not that they want, it's not that they don't, not unromantic in that kind of way, right? But to be forced to do something, sometimes it just feel off. I don't know if you understand where I'm from. Like you're saying, well, I like the doors to do this, and I do, and if it is you jump out and it's just maybe like how you're not brought up or you're just not away that way, right? And it is you get emotional because I didn't do it. It's something, is it, and you're feeling forced to do something you don't want to do. How are you supposed to try? I trying to ask
Marriage
you,
is dying to self, huh?
I know, but how are you supposed to deal with this? Because when it comes to that part, you don't die to yourself, right? So how when it comes to the sexual part, you don't die to yourself.
That is not true. Women die a lot in that part as well.
Okay, but asking, how are you supposed to deal with that? Asking for a man, for all my brothers in the boot out there, because they not really, as romantically, I don't think, you know, you just open door and thing, you don't really do them thing, but they want them thing.
But Kyle, if the man smart, and he know the wife will respond in that way, he will do all those things.
Let me ask a question. You ever read Solomon?
Yeah.
And Ecclesiastes?
Yeah.
You ever read it? Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah. He had 700 times to get this thing right.
Right? Read the Bible and
No,
what they will learn.
but really asking a question here, right? Is it that sometimes that if it is a man, a farmer, I just ask it from a little men help here, right?
Right.
If it is I'm feeling forced to do certain things, right? Because it means that if I don't do it, it's somehow equivalent that you do love me. And now I have forced to show that I love you, right? But it's just something like not naturally, so it means that sometimes you just don't do it.
Let me tell you something, Kyle.
Uh-huh.
You think Jesus wanted to go through that Alexander cross?
I know I hear a story you're telling about
That's
Jesus
not a
on the cross, right?
story.
I hear you talking about Jesus'
You think he
story on
wanted
the
to
cross.
give up
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, Onika.
heaven and come and walk on this earth and get spit
Onika.
upon and
Onika.
lash and beat for his bride, you know?
Onika, the man's cry.
Yes.
Blood!
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
We don't cry blood because, but just saying, asking in the moment. And here we're saying
Right.
I need to die to ourselves, and I agree with all of that, right? But about in the moment. In the moment, we reach that whole philosophy here. In the moment, now you get emotional because we maybe not acting a certain way that you would like, right?
Right.
How are we supposed to translate that? Asking.
I don't understand the question.
I don't understand the question either.
Okay.
No, but I think it's because if
Yeah.
two people die into themselves, then
No. What I mean is like, it's not common to somebody to act that way romantically all the
Right.
time, right? I just saying in those ways that maybe some women like it different. Because
Right.
everybody different, they grow up
Everybody
different, right?
different, yeah.
But every time it might turn into an issue. Like you might
Right.
say, well, is this you're not doing this because
Well,
you don't love me?
I
This is
understand what
you
you're saying
create
now.
love.
It had
But
to be a
then-
give and take, Kyle. So you
because-
can't just keep, as a woman, you can't just keep insisting
Yeah.
that you do this my way, do it my way, do it my way. That's not going to get anywhere. So
Yeah.
it had to be a give and I would like it to see a give and take. So
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
expecting Prince Charming to jump out. That's not who you
Because
are.
I'm just saying, because there are points. Because
But
if
I would
somebody
let
wants
them,
to
you
do
know,
those things,
Yeah.
eventually going to naturally do. But if it is at the moment,
Yeah.
they're not because then their mind to
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
do that at the moment and time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he not gonna. I don't men generally do like to be like this in a relationship on the toes. You don't really like to feel like that.
they're working on eggshells.
Yeah, like if it is I don't do this, it's a scene.
Right,
If I
right.
don't do this,
I
it's
understand
a
the
scene.
scene.
If I don't do this, it's a scene, and it's eventually turning into a scene. So
But I think where it could come an issue is if one person, say for example, if it's one person doing all the dying to themselves, they being flexible, they're accommodating, and they feel like the other person
not
doing
doing
it, that could probably feel
That could hurt. It
that
could
could feel a
that could
certain
make
way.
you feel unloved.
That could make
Okay.
you feel a certain
For
way.
sure.
Okay.
If it's constantly like that.
If you're not complaining, you kind of putting yourself last then, and you still continue serving, honoring, whatever, and the other person seem like that could hurt somebody.
Okay. I just was wondering, and I like your answer that sometimes you must have a give and take in a relationship.
You let up. You can't continue go down the road,
Yeah.
insisting, and
I have one more question and we go into the comments, right? One more question. Why it is, I know normally people they say, right, that women more sensitive than men, right? Or they're more emotionally
Emotional.
intelligent.
Yes, we are
or
more
emotional.
emotionally intelligent.
Why is that? And how are we supposed to relate to that?
hormones.
I think by design, no, but I think by design we're just different.
Well,
too,
I was just saying hormones. That's actually by design. But just saying and asking, like, how are we supposed to relate to that? Because practically in a relationship, if you're all acting more emotional towards certain things, right? How are we supposed to relate to that if it's natural to you, always maybe not natural to us?
You have to understand your wife. You have to get to know your wife or your girlfriend. I mean, it will take
Everything
time.
is time, yeah.
You know
Okay.
what tick them off. You know what make them. You get to know, pick up the person's vibe after a while. And I think men are natural, supposed to be in their homes too. Ladies could be a little out of time, right? With the emotions, they could
Yeah,
get
a little extra.
They could get extra and they cry and they fuss and right? They could get a little. And I think that the men, somebody shared a video in the women's group with Miles Monroe, And he said women looking for a father. I know
Yeah.
I'm not looking for no father.
Yeah. I have no
Right?
problem.
I know I could tell you for certainty when I met my husband, I didn't have no father in mind. My father was a father, right? So I actually didn't want that. You know, you know what I mean, right? But still, the man in his home is a teacher, and I think that the man's supposed to teach his wife too.
Wow.
I think the man
Is that a good thing to say? That is a man supposed to teach his wife? I just taking notes. That's a good thing to say? Or that should only come from another woman?
I think that men are supposed to be natural teachers.
Wow.
And I do think, right, women probably not going to like to hear this, that women do need to be taught in many areas.
Yes, we do.
How to manage their emotions and how to maybe respond better to their
That's true.
husbands. Because women do tend to get emotional, and some of them, when they get things, they high pitch and they go off and they cry and it's a drama.
Yeah.
And if men now, if you're not a real man of God or a real man, period, and you don't know how to deal with that, it could just escalate into a
Yes.
whole mad scene.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the man, need to teach you woman, and maybe this is where it comes in. I'm going to say something that women will hate too, where the Bible says a woman should learn in silence now.
Yeah, quiet
right?
and gentle.
So Kerwin brought up this point that sometimes in a relationship where things, let's say the husband and Yala, we're talking about the husband with all the issues, right? The man. That the Bible actually said that one of the ways that you could actually win over an unbelieving husband, but you can
Quiet
relate
and
it to a
gentle
husband that given trouble, not only unbelieving, right? To be a believer too. Is by your silent,
And quiet and gentle
but you
spirit.
not the silent treatment, ladies. The women might get excited and say, "What?" You know. But
Because,
by
yes, always get silent treatment.
but
go ahead. But
why,
not-
why the Bible said by silence? What it means is women like to talk and talk and talk and
It's
feel
true.
they go talk you into getting saved none. A quote in scripture, the Bible saying, right? Basically, the Bible says, hush your mouth
Yeah.
and you live right.
Yeah.
You live like a woman of God and let
will win
him
him over.
see your behavior, and that will win him over.
Yeah.
But for women, that is like the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
They want to talk and they want to get the man saved, so
true.
they're trying all how, and what it end up being is torment for the man.
Mm-hmm.
So in a normal relationship, the man not necessarily unsaved, right? There are times where I think the man should take up that mantle as a teacher
Mm-hmm.
and teach his wife, talk to her, show her that, well, okay, listen, honey, you can't. Not because it's month
But
end.
how you get to that place?
What do you mean by that, Kyle?
Because not all women, like at the point in time, they might find that as a harsh thing to do. Like,
No,
you know, you're
well,
trying to
you
teach
can't
me,
do it.
So what, I mean,
But you're not going to say, sit, I'm going to teach you now.
You just
Come down, you
communication.
communicate,
I know what they're
yeah.
saying, but, you
you
know.
teach them, you tell them, well, this is not,
but it's into a back and forth though.
That's
'Cause
how
they
you
like
will
to
reach,
see
man.
something a certain way. So how are we supposed to deal with that?
I'm talking about in a situation where the woman is out of time. And let's
Yeah.
say she gets emotional outburst. We were
Yeah,
talking about,
yeah.
remember we came up with emotions now.
Yeah.
So it might be that time of the month, and you feel you have a right to shout at your husband
Mm-hmm.
because you know, and that's the point where your husband have to say no. or-
Yeah, that's the wrong way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and teach your wife, no, that's not how you relate to me, no matter what, and you teach her the Bible, whatever. Again, not saying sit down, I'm going to teach you. I don't know how much women going to deal with that. Sit down, I'm going to teach you. And do it in silence too. Divorce, yes. But,
I agree with what Anika saying,
yeah.
for sure.
But
Okay.
women, I think men, but the sad thing is, Kyle, there are not many men who take up that type of role in the home.
Wow.
I don't believe there are a lot of men who
So
take
men
up
need
that
to take
role.
up the rule.
Yeah.
What I hear that, right?
As priests,
Right.
right? As,
So let her pray. Go ahead. And sacrifice. Go ahead.
as the head, as the teacher, provider, protector.
Covering everything.
All of that is the part of the role of a man. And
So what's the rule of a wife?
submitter,
Honor.
Okay.
cleaner, cook.
Is that true?
Keep her at home.
The Bible does say it. I've
Keep
listened
her
to
the
the
home.
keep her for the
The
home,
women
right?
should be busy in their house.
Yeah, but it's not only cleaning. I mean, the atmosphere.
Why
the
you
home.
think? Why you think it don't involve cleaning?
No, I'm not saying it's not only.
She didn't
Oh, okay,
say
cool. Oh,
I say it's not
it does
only.
not involve. Why you putting words in the woman's
okay,
mouth?
okay.
Yeah, but I
go
mean,
ahead.
like the whole aura of the whole, like you want a house of peace.
That's
and,
a woman's job. That's what
and
the
a-
Bible says.
Yeah.
Okay.
But nothing wrong with a man saying, well, hey, honey, like how I know there's a couple here, Ava Dell, give it up for Ava Dell. Her husband loves to cook.
Okay.
Sorry, her fiance loves to cook and says that he has no problem
Yeah.
cooking every day if she wants.
All right.
Hey, boy,
I ain't too
boy,
sure about the
boy.
everyday one, but go ahead.
Well,
Yeah, every day one, but he willing.
he willing. And he
Right.
like it. It's not like you're
Yeah.
forcing him,
Yeah.
right? So in a case like that, you say, fine, we share the cooking. There
Yeah.
are men my father, you would like things in order and clean and stuff, and you can't do it. Yeah, you can't do it like him. So I would see him get down and do it himself.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because he wanted a certain way now.
Your mother used to hardly do things, eh?
My mother used to hire people to clean.
I know
From
that.
the time I was born.
I
people in my
can't
house
deal with that
clean.
all. See that one? I
Right?
can understand your mother.
Did he hire him?
No, when it is like somebody tell you to do something and you had to do it there, where it says
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah,
can't
yeah.
do it and they
I'd
can't.
like that when
Yeah.
that's
I just
done to
can't-
me as
I just
well.
can't-
No. I'm not saying he used to do that with
I
her.
know,
He
I'm
was-
just saying, but just in
no,
general, it might turn
But
into-
he would do it, you know, he
Yeah.
would do his things. I mean, it go in his house, it's spick and span.
Wow.
That's him. That's how
Mm-hmm.
he, you know, and that's his way. So he's not waiting for you to do it spick
Right,
and
he will
span.
do it.
I will do it spick and span kind of thing, right?
Right.
But then that's, you know, and that's something understood because you
Yeah.
cool, nobody forcing you to
Yeah.
do that. And you're not, you know. So it's a give and take. I think it should be a give and
Yeah,
take.
give
You know,
and
some
take.
men love to be outside in the garden.
Yeah, some men like
They
yeah,
get
yard
Saturday
work.
morning and whole day in the yard and, you know, and you on the inside. That's fine.
Yes,
you
I
know,
guess
that's fine.
every marriage will find their own
Yeah.
culture.
Okay. So, you know, we're going back to the comment section now. Bonica, any final words that you would like to encourage women and men? Because, I mean, we're done with the men and the women. So, any final words you would encourage? Like, one of the things they said that we must have a little more, you know, give and take in a relationship.
Yeah, I think it's
Because
give and take.
I think sometimes people just
Yeah.
think things automatically.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can take years for sometimes because,
That's true.
I mean, I do that sometimes. So I mean, it's not a good thing. So like you all might say, or some people might say it's not a good thing. But that's me personally. When it comes to like my relationship with God, I just actually see myself and realize that sometimes it takes me some years to get some things
That's true.
right with me and God. And
Of
it's
course,
not that He
yeah.
didn't love me and I didn't love. But I just find that it's be harsh to tell somebody, not because you don't love me. I find that's a harsh thing to attack somebody in a kind of way that they
Yeah.
just don't love me because of this and that.
Okay.
And
Not, you know, you should never say you don't love me because that is
Yeah.
accusing.
Yeah, but-
You
Yeah.
should say I don't feel love.
Right.
Because
Okay.
you can't tell me I'm not feeling love.
Right.
in this situation, though.
Yeah.
Because it have many other ways I might feel love, but don't tell me like I just don't
No.
feel love in general.
Now, if
because
you tell your husband I don't feel love, they didn't talk about with cleaning the house, I don't feel
Yeah,
love. To me,
yeah.
that's, you know, you
No,
mean
because-
generally.
because it have,
It's something that's repeating then.
all right, that's
After
one
a
particular
while.
situation.
No, after a while, after one situation, you go say I didn't feel love.
No,
because
hear
you-
what I'm saying, right? Like say it is like go with the chivalrous thing, right?
Right.
That is one area. But then
Right.
it might have another area where you say like cooking, you like the man to cook, like help around the house. So that's another area that the man
Right.
doing his part. Or you doing whatever and he showing you some love there, right? But then in this area, he not showing you love as you might feel that he
Right.
don't love you. In that kind of way, right? Is it
Nah,
that
well,
you're gonna just generalize a situation?
No, I wouldn't agree with
If,
that.
What's
that,
that?
that
I
might
think
be a little
if you-
extra.
Yeah, if the person, if you've seen him in one particular area really giving and, you know, helping or whatever, and you say, well, okay, you know what, he likes to do that, he doing it or whatever, but because you're not opening card or somewhere or you're not,
That I mean,
you know,
So it should, we should both have a conversation
yeah,
about
I mean,
it.
you gotta,
Don't just
you
give a
gotta-
silent treatment and thing.
silent treatment is not healthy. I mean, I know I used to do that a
it
lot,
happens.
but it's
yeah.
not.
Afraid to ask Anthony if he still sometimes get silent treatment, but I ain't gonna go down that route. But Yeah.
I think all women is give silent
at
treatment
some point, but it's not. It's really not.
I think all
if
women
I give
do.
silent treatment, but anyhow, good.
I can see if I give him silent treatment.
Yeah. She just give me silent treatment, all kind of thing. So far less mark. Anyhow, good.
Yeah, my final words. You asked me for my final
yeah, but go
words,
ahead, so I'm
ladies,
saying yes.
right? And men,
Good.
right? Something that we'd always tell people in counseling is that a marriage relationship not supposed to be codependency. It's not supposed to be you do X, Y, Z for me, I feel love, so I do X, Y, Z for you, you feel love kind of thing. Because then what happens if the person stop or they can't for some reason,
Wow.
right? So it's not a matter, that's not how unconditional love works. And with all the talk we talking, ladies, are the things that we don't like, it doesn't mean that because you don't do the thing, you do the things that I don't like, that's not going to stop me from not loving you. It's also not going to stop me from treating you
Right.
with love and respect, you know. You just try to communicate, but then after a while, I have been married for 19 years. There are some fights you give up. There are some fights, guys, that is worth giving up. You're not going 19 years.
Why just give it up?
Because what's the point? I
No,
love
we
you, I'm
think-
going to be with you forever.
No,
What's
but
the point of
asking why
something
just give it
small?
up?
Because you're not if you don't see a change after a while, Kyle, what?
I know, but why just give it up? Even though the person,
Because-
where's your goal in other words? What is you would like
My
out of the
goal,
relationship?
right,
Because why
my
does it
goal
even
is a
sacrifice?
peaceful, loving environment
Yeah.
in my home to have a I'm not going to be making things.
Nagging.
Yeah, I'm not going to be coming after you year after year after year, 19 years, I quarreling with you for the same thing. That doesn't make sense, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You find another way, or you do it yourself, whatever you have to do. Or forget it, right?
Just forget it.
But it can't be you have getting things your way. You know, there are some bigger issues. I think the in-laws, that's a big issue if it's persistent. If the man is not doing something about it, or the woman, whichever way, right? If the spouse whose parents, they're not trying to, I could see that has destroyed many marriages, right?
Well, that's the point I was trying to make. Well, I was trying to comment, right?
You need a third party sometimes.
No, I mean, it's like, where's the if it is somebody doesn't change in that area, where's the outcome? Is it going to be divorce? Is it going to be
No, that's why I say you need some kind of counsel.
At some point in time, it's really to really, at some point in time, each other had to come to a place where they're saying to themselves, well, at least their heart desire should be like, our pit boy, like Jesus, where he said that he wants us to be one with him, or we're in love, in constant love, in that kind of way, right? And sometimes, like I said, even though we know that the Bible tells us in the area of our relationship, in the context of the marriage is rule, a man's supposed to die individually. We had to do that as well.
Yeah.
Individually, we're supposed to die to ourselves. So in our marriage, I would say the goal also too is that we would both be in love and a kind of oneness and a kind of hope.
Yeah.
Because if it is you don't do that, where's the end result you would want? Is it that you'd just rather stay vexed? So
Yeah.
because I just trying to be practical. I understand in relationships in general in life, what is end up happening is people put up walls in their heart.
Yeah,
Right.
hardness
And it's
of
be
heart.
very hard to communicate now
Right.
beyond that. Because what is end up happening is put up walls,
Yeah.
and it's just be like they don't even expect certain
Yeah.
things to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
It's like a dead relationship
Yeah,
afterwards.
and it's not like it's not like you saying to yourself, well, maybe I have to love sometime here.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe I have to show
Yeah,
my
choose
love.
love.
You know what I mean? I have to
Right.
choose- And sometimes we end up people just put up walls and they can't communicate,
That
they
is
can't
so
talk,
true.
they can't do certain things, and
Yeah.
it's end up being where now it's just like two people in a home
And they're not really
and
loving
they don't really love each other. And when you realize where all this went wrong, is I want thing my way and you want
That
thing
is
your
a
way,
fact.
and it's just
True.
you know what I mean. And
That
it's-
is a fact.
And it starts small. It starts
Yeah.
with
That is a
small
fact.
things. little
So
things.
even though we're saying that these are things that we hate that each other do, at some point in time we had to see if it is we willing to rip up the list and see if I will love it still.
That is
Because
a
I'm
fact.
sure there are things that you hate that your mother and father do.
Yeah,
Right.
that's- yeah.
But you continue to love them. You continue
Yeah.
to, help them, support them. You love them.
That is a fact.
Your
yeah.
brother and sister, they annoy you. Some people, they don't talk
I
to
think
the
that's
siblings, but-
what Carlos talked about. That's the difference between a marriage in the will, or it should be a difference in marriage in the will and marriage in Christ.
Okay.
Where you just choose in the will, you just forget that and move on with that or whatever the case. But in Christ, because if you really walk in with the Holy Spirit and stuff, you will just choose love and choose honor and
People divorce because they don't feel loved. They
Right.
say it, I don't feel loved in this relationship anymore. Or I don't feel the spark gone.
yeah.
Right.
So you married for a spark. You know what I mean? The spark is gone. You the spark gone, so you want a divorce. I'm not feeling it anymore. You know,
Right.
kind of thing. And it's not about that. I mean, you white as we can't. The same kind of love, unconditional love we have for our family
Right.
members. How come it don't extend to your spouse who's supposed to be closer to you?
Or
Who's
your
supposed to be
children.
one, or your children.
Or your children. So some,
Yeah.
Your
some
children could do all kind
yeah,
of
they do all kind of things and you love them.
I
And
guess
I love them.
I say I guess all of us, both men and women, have to be emotionally aware. What I mean by emotionally aware, like you're saying, right? Your husband, your father, you could go in a room and forget. You know, go in a room and all, you're not talking for some time, or vice versa. Your brother and sister,
Yeah.
eventually say, well, me moving out. But with your wife, you can't do those things, or your husband, you can't do
Yeah.
those things. Both of them are going to sleep in
Yeah.
the same bed.
Yeah.
You know, all have to love each other in that kind of way.
Yeah.
And imagine what you resolve, even though you both are going to sit down, you sleep in the same bed. Emotionally, what you would actually try to do is put up a wall in your heart.
Yeah.
You would try, with other people, you would try to put up a physical wall. It means that
Right.
you go in a different room, you can move
Yeah.
on, you can do whatever. But somehow in a relationship, and I think both parties have to be aware that you would actually put up a wall inside of you that you'd say to yourself, well, I just can't deal with this no more. And eventually,
Did somebody say, sorry to cross it, they say same bed, that when they vex with their husband, they would stack up pillows between. Stack up. This
and that's really an expression
on
of
the
their
pole.
heart. That's an expression of
they
what's
said they
going
would
on in their
stack
heart.
pillows because they didn't even want to roll by mistake.
And you realize all these things in the Bible they talk about, don't let your anger go down before, don't let your sun go down before you're angry, because all these things is, God wants us to actually be in love all the time with each other.
Yeah.
And you realize that at some point in time, we are as believers, at only for believers, definitely, right? We have a love that comes not from your husband or your wife.
Exactly.
We have a love that comes from God, and that's our sustaining thing.
Yeah.
It is not our relationship with our spouse or any kind of things. That's not our sustaining life, you know what I mean? But
You're talking deep, man.
Yeah.
Talking deep, man.
yeah,
You're just playing the monkey.
I'm just trying to relate to everybody,
You're
you
just
know.
playing the monkey.
But anyhow,
You're right, you're right.
when it comes to that, I think both parties have to draw from that well.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's what Jesus said. He have a well that it will give you living water. You know what I mean? At the last, whatever. And both of us actually had to draw from that. When you draw from that, you realize you have the courage to fight again.
Yeah.
You have the ability to love again. You have the
And
ability
you
to...
grace each other too. If somebody make a mistake, you give them grace in a certain area. And
Yeah, because, I mean, we all need it. I think it's important to know that the both parties, even as believers, not perfect.
Absolutely.
Emotionally, and I mean, obviously there are red flags, like, if they're lustful and they're doing certain things,
Yeah.
you have to watch any beginning. But generally, like we see that, I find sometimes people just want to go through, I'm not saying counseling bad, but it's like they just want to know every single thing and fix every single problem. No, when really and truly, some of the problems deep down, you have to actually walk it through in love. Because sometimes it's a give and take that we have to learn, we
That
have to
is
go
true.
through. Because sometimes in a situation, that's how sometimes we learn in generally, because it's not a matter of knowledge. As much as you learn, it don't really change your heart sometimes.
It's true,
It's a matter of a heart condition where, you have to be able to express that love
Yeah.
somehow. So sometimes for both parties, it might take a time where we both have to, like I say, die to ourselves. That might look different for everybody.
True.
That might look different where, now we have to come to our senses. Because at the end of the day, in a relationship, there's one person who is in charge in our actual Bible, godly is the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And whether it is somebody not changing,
That's the
listen,
only
the
person
Holy
that can
Spirit
change.
will
Yeah.
start to work on that person in their dreams and their thoughts and whatever.
Yeah.
And he would come to that place. And that's why you should always want to have a relationship. You want to be somebody who loves God and have a relationship. Because the Bible says, anybody who the Father loves, he chases. And that's
Yeah.
for every area of life, especially in
Yeah.
your marriage. Because God sees that in such a big way. In other words, the Bible tells us that even for a bishop, he must be somebody who will be able to love in his house first.
Right, first.
So if God taking
Yeah.
it to such a degree, if it is you want to serve in my kingdom, you got to be able to be in that kind of way demonstrating it to your family.
that's the first
It means
ministry.
that he taking that as something as important in the
Yeah.
same way, right? So it means that the Holy Spirit will help in your marriage.
Yeah.
So how do we foster, as we're going into the comments now, right? I know I keep saying that, right? But I think these things are a little important, right?
That's true.
How do we foster that in our marriage, the Holy Spirit, to be the present thing that both of us must be aware of? How do we do that? I don't know.
Boy, it's hard. First of all, Kyle, you can't do that without both parties having a real relationship.
Yeah.
So and to me, if you naturally do have a relationship with God, it's something that's understood. But yes, I mean, I guess the family coming together and praying will be important. Hearing from God, not only as individuals,
But together.
but together. But that's something you can't, how I should say, you can't pretend. That's not something you could
Fake it.
fake. You can't make it like a rule
Yeah.
if it's not in your heart.
Yeah.
So you ought to know if your spouse really have a relationship with God or not.
Right.
But coming together as a family unit could do that, on a regular basis. Where you
That's true.
actually want to hear from God for the family, for the home, to hear what God is saying, what direction to take, that
is
kind
true.
of
And I
thing.
think both men and women had to be, this is something we all had to do. I think both of them have to be consciously aware of the flesh. In the context of, it's easy for a woman or the soul, it's easy for, like they always say, women could see a little more emotional than men, right?
Right.
It's easier sometimes for you to maybe act emotional in a moment.
Yeah.
Vice versa for a man. I think both parties emotional, but I could understand why they say women more, because men more struggle with the area of emotion, with anger and rage and
Right,
kind of
right,
different
right.
things, right? And in the both parties, I think they have to be emotionally aware, not emotional, I should say spiritually aware that first thing first, you are not your emotions.
Right.
So if there's in a moment you start to feel heated, you start to feel angry, at some point in time you have to be able to say, whoa, and
Yes.
allow the Holy Spirit to, because at the end goal is we want the end goal to be you right, and sometimes both of you all have to submit and say, well, I know I right in this situation, but at the end of the day, me being right now going to change how we feeling here.
Just
You
for
get
the
where I'm
peace
coming
sake.
from now,
Yeah,
yeah.
for peace sake.
Not just peace sake, for reconciliation.
Yeah, for reconciliation.
You understand? Because where's the point of you end up being right and the person just don't even want to even talk to you no more.
Yeah.
You can try to be like,
Yeah.
they end up reaching that point where you beat them up so much and they just, I don't even want to talk to you right now in the moment. You can try to from now. You reach that point where you're so right, they end up being wrong in the area.
Yeah,
of
yes,
love.
yeah.
You
You're
can try
right.
coming from now.
Yeah.
So the Bible actually tells us even love covers sin.
Yeah.
It covers people flow away willing to watch
100%.
somebody in a moment and say, all right, you're acting up a certain way. If it's a man, you have to be able to say, show the person love in whatever way they need it at the moment. Because sometimes certain triggers that happen to them because I'll be honest with you, I mean, even me being in a relationship now, before for years in Christ, now in a relationship, some things I'd even be aware of why trigger,
Right.
and I didn't know about it before. You catch where I'm coming from
it's
now,
only
but now
because-
we're in a relationship, I realize certain things are rising. So my point
Yeah.
is, even in a relationship, you might realize that even when you get married and as the
Yeah.
journey go along, you don't even know why again this thought or why this
Yes,
happening.
yes.
You know what I mean? I give an example that's not even a relationship wise. Right? I remember, like I was telling them that I driving on, the lady young. And I was going down to drop my mom in the hospital to whatever check-up and thing, right? And when we was going, she telling me slow down around the bend. So I saying, obviously when I'm slow down, whatever, okay, remember, we going down fast, whatever. And the reason why she tell me that is because when we were younger, like I was really young, my father drive off the road because he knew the brakes loose or whatever the case
Right.
may be, right? But I used to have dreams right through tormenting me about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Me going over like lady on our bends and thing, and something just happened,
Wow.
and
Wow.
but I was not aware of it. You catch where I'm coming from? Like
Yeah.
only when she tell me that, I was like, wait now. So I went through this kind of traumatic thing when I was young, and I wasn't even aware of something
Wow.
like that until she tell me, wait now, that is what happened, and I wasn't even aware that that was my problem or that is
Yeah.
really going on.
That's
You
why
catch
you
where
were
I'm coming?
dreaming
That's why I
that,
was
yeah.
dreaming that or something like that, right? So sometimes we deep down in our life, we need
The
some,
experiences,
we need some help, we need some
yeah.
kind of different, we need each other. In other words, and the
Yeah.
Holy Spirit. So you know,
Wow.
anything you want to say before? And-
Grace grows.
yeah, we are grace growers and we are spirit growers. Yeah? Well, not growers, we just more being aware of who we are in Christ. Yeah? Eric, Eva, you take it away and you close off the show. You want to thank Eniala for joining us, and I know
Thank you,
have
Eniala.
to share some of your intimate moments, and yeah, don't worry.
Thank you, Anthony. too.
Thank you, Anthony, for allowing
For
this
your
to
silent
happen.
support.
Yeah. Anthony's right here. I wish you could show a camera and show him sitting down like, let me hear what this woman going to say about me. Yeah, you go ahead there, Eva.
Alright, so we're going back to the comments. I'm just going to go through some of them really quickly, guys. Brittany Collin, good night to you, is not doing it in silence, but rather demonstrating Christ-like behavior. Alicia Roman, there are certain words men as do for women are triggered. Learn each other's language. Ayana says to be a helpmeet to her husband in any way needed. That's the rule of a woman. Helpmeet. Everybody's saying helpmeet. Angel telling me I'm blessed. I don't know what it's like to get a cooked meal. A cooked meal handed to me unless it's at a restaurant. But later on she added that she has a great husband despite all of these little things. Dawn Francis says love and honor for God manifested in treatment of the husband. Kerwin Narain, what about the two becoming one? It sounded more like two tolerating each other. Dawn Francis, my dad used to hire someone to clean. My mom was always a great cook every day, but never clean really. He used to clean too. Let me say good night to Issa. Who else we have here? Alicia, I don't feel love. Not you don't love me. Agreed, niece. Brittany Collin, when both parties submit together to God, a oneness automatically occurs. Toleration occurs when submission in Christ is lacking. Kerwin, many people learning how to stay married. It is a biggest difference. This is a bigger difference, I guess, between staying married and staying in love, also known as surviving marriage. Ravini, no silent treatment. Zane, who out and want in and who in want out. Brittany Collin, we like on condition. Brittany Collin, we like on condition. Very few love unconditionally. Let's see. Dawn Francis, works-based love is not love, but true love will manifest in some form or fashion. Alicia says, wow, Nick, great pattern, goodies. Anthony McLeod, 19 years of marriage wisdom. I taken notes. Kenny and Will, I like to fix anything in the house. I like to be in the garden. I took on all the ironing and washing after my wife got pregnant with first kid. I also help with dishes. My wife deals with cleaning of the house, cooking, and the husband and the kids, etc. I think husband is the stronger vessel, since scripture refers to wife as weaker vessel, and should demonstrate same in the home by helping out. Bringing home a salary is not enough. Alicia Roman, true talk. Kyle, have seen it, experienced it, and dished and served it. Mary Force Park, hearing people marrying Transformers, looking for the old spark. Brittany Collin, never stop dating your spouse. Valina Onika offers great wisdom for marriage and life in general. Dawn says amen. Kyle. Let me see. I don't want. Yeah,
Wow,
I
you know?
actually the one person that was real against you, she said that you redeem yourself, I think. Kenyan will. Yes, that's why I said it must manifest in some form of fashion in a personal relationship. Firstly, John Furman, love is feeling within, we can do without. Let me see. I can't get all the comments in, guys, but Kenyan will. I can't go to sleep without my wife angry at me. With my wife angry at me. Even if I think I'm right, I'll say I'm sorry for whatever it is, and or just hug her up and go to sleep. Okay. But I mean, even from looking at these comments, I think we have some great husbands in the world today. It's a very nice thing to see. I have my final giveaway here, guys, sponsored by Megamart Computer Services. Guys, this number is 7336157 or 3308791 for all of your computer service needs. You could just give him a call, right? You could also check out his page on Instagram, Facebook, and he also has a website, megamartcomputerservices.com, all right? So be sure to check him out. If you know he probably provided a service for you, you could probably leave a review. You could put in a request, whatever the case is, and just to remind you, he does house calls, all right? So he will come to your workplace, he will come to your home, he will come to a school, whatever the case is, and you can contact him for anything, whether it be hardware, software installation, data recovery, virus removal or prevention, anything like that. Just give him a call, all right? Even if you may be unsure about what he does, just give him a call, all right? And this final giveaway here, again sponsored by Megamart Computer Services, is gonna go to Ayana Fiola Frederick. Congratulations to you, Ayana. I think this could have been the first time I saw your name on the show, so I'm really happy to see. And I saw a few other new persons. I'm really happy to have all of you new persons here. We are here every other Saturday, okay, guys? Every other Saturday we talk about a different topic, and our shows are always saved on the page, both on YouTube and on Facebook, so you could always like. If what you saw tonight, you enjoyed it, please like. You can share it. You could comment even after. Feel free, and be sure to join back with us again the following Saturday at 7:30. Let me just big up really quickly all the persons that win a giveaway tonight: Kenyan Will, Ayana Frederick, and Crystal Core. Congratulations to all of you. We look forward to meeting you all to give you your giveaways, all right? And just inbox us to get information on how you could go about receiving them. It was really awesome sharing with you all tonight. I always love reading all of your comments, and I enjoy your company, all right, guys? But I will see you the following Saturday at 7:30. Make sure you come back. Make sure you bring a friend. Share the page, share the show, whatever the case is, all right? And enjoy the rest of your night and your weekend. I will see you all soon. Bye for now.